My child, stop everything, because I, the Lord your God, have something urgent to say to you. Yes, you. This is not a random scroll. This is a divine summoning. I have watched you in secret, counted every unseen step, every silent act of faith, and today, I've come to say, I am proud of you for doing this. What you thought was overlooked, I've recorded in eternity. What felt small to others was seismic in the spirit. So listen to me. Do not click away. Not now. Not halfway. Not ever. Watch until the final breath of this message, because inside these words are answers you've begged me for, affirmations your soul didn't know it needed, and a release of favor already on the way. Stay alert. Stay soft. Stay until the very end. Because if you leave too soon, you may miss the sentence that was written to break your chains. My beloved child, I saw the moment, that holy, hidden moment when you chose the harder path, the one no one clapped for, the one no one saw. I watched as you made a decision that carried eternal weight, even though it passed by unnoticed on earth. That decision was not small to me. It sent ripples through the spirit realm. It was more than obedience. It was surrender. I saw how you paused in the middle of your day, in the middle of your pain, and quietly said yes to me. No one was watching, but all of heaven bore witness. You didn't do it for recognition, applause, or validation. You did it because deep inside your weary soul, you still believed I was worth obeying. You didn't need a sign, a promise, or a confirmation. You acted on conviction alone, and that, my child, is sacred. That's the kind of faith that moves mountains and melts my heart. I didn't need a crowd to validate what you did, because I was already standing in the room when you did it. And my eyes, the same eyes that see galaxies spin and oceans crash, they locked onto your single act of trust. In that moment, you weren't just making a decision. You were stepping into your destiny. I saw the trembling in your hands. I saw how your emotions warred against your spirit, how every logical part of your mind screamed for comfort, for safety, for understanding. But you silenced those voices with the whisper of a deeper yes. And that whisper rang louder in heaven than the noisiest sermon. I am proud of you, not because you were perfect, not because you had it all figured out, but because you trusted me when there was nothing else holding you up but the memory of a promise and the echo of my name. You did not fold. You leaned in. You stayed soft in a world that rewards hardness. And that is a miracle all by itself. Do not underestimate what just happened. You think it was small, but in eternity, it was seismic. You moved something in the spirit that history will thank you for. You stepped past bitterness and chose to forgive. You resisted the urge to prove your worth and chose to be still. You had every right to defend yourself, to fight back, to shut down, but you didn't. Instead, you yielded. Instead, you believed. And that belief, that quiet act of spiritual warfare, dismantled more darkness than you realize. Child, you honored me. And that honor doesn't return to you empty. I'm already writing the consequences of that obedience into your future. I'm already tying threads together behind the veil to bring about divine recompense. I'm not just proud of you. I am moved by you. I am stirred with affection by what you just did. And I will not be silent about it. Heaven doesn't reward showmanship. Heaven rewards surrender. And what you offered me today was pure. You held back nothing. You didn't come dressed in religious polish or performance. You came raw. You came open. You came ready. And I met you in that offering. You not let the enemy whisper that it was insignificant. I designed that moment. I orchestrated the setup. I knew what you'd face, and I positioned angels to lean in as you crossed that threshold. What you just did was more than obedience. It was alignment. It was an act of war in the spirit realm. And your yes, your fragile, holy yes, silenced every accusation. You didn't just overcome temptation. You overcame the lie that your obedience doesn't matter. And now the heavens are echoing with the sound of my delight. You chose obedience over comfort. You chose stillness over performance. You chose me when everything around you whispered the opposite. And child, I want you to know that choice didn't just touch my heart, it pierced it with beauty. You had every opportunity to walk away, to drift, to compromise just enough to ease the tension. But instead, you leaned into the discomfort, into the divine discomfort that precedes every breakthrough. You didn't wait until everything made sense. You didn't demand guarantees. You chose me when there was no applause, no certainty, no crowd to cheer you on. You chose me when the silence felt like abandonment and the waiting felt like punishment. And that, my beloved, is why I'm telling you now. I am proud of you in a way that only a father who watched every invisible moment can be. I saw it, that split second when you hesitated, when your flesh begged for relief and your mind spun like a whirlwind, grasping for logic. But instead of giving in, you bowed low in surrender. You silenced the noise of your emotions with the whisper of trust. And that whisper thundered in my ears. I've seen empires rise and fall. I've heard choirs of angels sing in perfect harmony. But nothing compares to the sound of a trembling heart saying, "Yes, Lord," when everything in them wants to say, "No." I didn't miss it. That whisper of surrender released waves in the spirit that altered more than you know. It was not just a moment. It was a marker in the spirit, a milepost of maturity, a monument of faith. Heaven doesn't measure your worth by the scale of your success, but by the size of your surrender. And this, my child, was full surrender. This wasn't passive resignation. This was active alignment. You didn't collapse into silence. You stepped into sacred stillness. You were giving up. You were giving over. That is the difference between defeat and devotion. You chose to worship with your will. You chose to believe with no backup plan. You walked away from what others would have run toward. You stood your ground when everything inside of you screamed to flee. And all of it was seen, accorded, revered. The kind of obedience you offered cannot be taught by sermons. It is forged in the fire of intimacy. It is birthed in the unseen hallway of waiting where no one affirms, and yet you keep walking. You've been building altars in obscurity, and now I will begin to honor them in visibility. Let me say it plain, so there is no misunderstanding. I am proud of you for staying when you could have escaped, for standing when you felt like falling, for trusting me without the luxury of clarity. What you did was more than faithful. It was prophetic. You testified by your actions that I am enough, not just in blessing, but in breaking. And because of that, I am preparing to respond in kind. You will see how your stillness has shaken strongholds. You will witness how your quiet has dismantled darkness. You chose me, not performance, not perfection, but me. And I am proud, deeply, eternally, undeniably proud of you for doing this. What you just did may have seemed small in the eyes of men, but in the eyes of heaven, it was seismic. You shifted something eternal. You may have thought it was just a text you didn't send, just a conversation you walked away from, just a door you chose not to open. But from my throne, it looked like a trumpet blast of maturity, a declaration of trust. Heaven watched as you resisted what your old self would have run to. You laid down the need to be right. You gave up the right to be understood. And you did it with no fanfare, no spotlight, only faith. My child, I know it cost you. I know it was costly obedience. But it was also beautiful, radiant. Where? The kind of obedience that smells like incense, that draws angels near, that makes me stand and say, this one. Look at this one. You see, in the economy of heaven, faith is never wasted and obedience is never lost. Every unseen choice to do what is right becomes a stone in the foundation of something supernatural. And this stone, this decision you made, carries generational weight. You are altering the spiritual DNA of your bloodline with the decisions no one else saw. This wasn't just about today. This was about legacy. You stepped into alignment not only for yourself, but for those who will come after you. You intercepted patterns of compromise and disruption and injected them with faith. What looked like a single act of self-control was actually a holy detour, a redirection of destiny, a rerouting of roads that once led to ruin. Don't underestimate what just happened. Do not diminish it in your own mind. You didn't just make a wise choice. You struck a match in the spirit that will burn for generations. That moment, that holy, quiet moment, it turned the page in your story. The enemy was watching, counting on you to fall into the trap, to return to old patterns, to let exhaustion overrule discernment. But instead, you surprised him. Instead, you submitted to me. And because of that, there has been a shift. Things that were locked are unlocking. Things that were delayed are accelerating. Things that were distorted are coming into focus. Because you chose me in the quiet, I will honor you in the open. Let me say this and let it settle deep. You did not lose anything by choosing me. You gained ground you didn't even know you had been circling. You ascended into authority. And the reason it felt so hard, so draining, so hidden, is because you were stepping into a dimension most never reach. You passed a test that was never announced. You followed a whisper that felt almost too quiet to be real. And yet you moved. And your movement mattered. It mattered more than you know. You may have felt weak, but I saw warriorship. You may have felt invisible, but I saw invincibility. And for that, I say again, I am proud of you for doing this. Eternally proud. I watched as you resisted the urge to retaliate, to justify yourself, to prove your heart to people who never even paused long enough to see it. That silence, oh, my child, that silence was louder than thunder in the halls of heaven. You didn't fight back because you were weak. You withheld your defense because you were strong. Strong in spirit. Strong in trust. Strong in restraint. And that kind of restraint, that kind of godly self-control, it takes more power than 1,000 words ever could. The world teaches you to clap back, to speak louder, to win the war of opinions. But you, beloved, chose to win the war of obedience. You let me be your defender. You let me hold your reputation. You released the need to be understood and instead chose to be aligned. And that decision has broken chains. Chains you didn't even know were wrapped around your lineage. You see, restraint in the natural is always movement in the spiritual. Do you know what happens in heaven when my child chooses peace over pride? When you release control and let me carry what was never yours to hold. Angels stand at attention. Assignments are activated. The heavens open. Why? Because that kind of obedience is catalytic. It is explosive. It creates holy combustion in the unseen. While you were biting your tongue, heaven was loosing the bond of confusion over your life. While you chose not to respond, I was responding. I was speaking for you in rooms you haven't entered yet. I was defending you before you even knew there were accusations. I was clearing a path that could not have been paved by words alone. Because your stillness wasn't passive. It was prophetic. It said to the spirit realm, I trust him more than I trust my own ability to fix this. And beloved, I do not take that trust lightly. I want you to know this. I took note of every time you held your peace. Every moment you swallowed your pride. Every second you chose gentleness when harshness would have felt justified. You think no one noticed, but I was watching. I wasn't just watching, I was counting. Every sigh you released instead of snapping back was counted as intercession. Every time you wept in private because you felt misunderstood, I gathered those tears like precious oil and poured them out upon the altar of remembrance. And now, my child, I am responding. I am moving. I am shifting things on your behalf because you chose to hold your posture instead of chasing position. You may not realize it yet, but this moment of quiet obedience has changed the temperature of your entire season. The spiritual atmosphere has shifted, not because you made noise, but because you made room for me. And let me say this clearly, you are not losing by letting go. You are not falling behind by standing still. You are not foolish for choosing silence. You are wise, beloved. You are mature. You are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Because what hell fears most is not the loud, but the loyal. The ones who stay in alignment no matter the accusation. The ones who trust me even when their name is dragged through the dust. I saw you bless instead of blame. I saw you kneel when you could have stood in defiance. I saw your restraint, your reverence, your resolve, and it moved me. I am proud of you for doing this. Not just for what you didn't say, but for what you declared through your silence, that I am your justice, your vindicator, your glory, and the lifter of your head. You think no one noticed, but I did. I saw every moment when you lowered your voice instead of raising your hand. I saw every time you turned your face toward me instead of turning your back in frustration. When the room grew quiet and no one affirmed your effort, I was already writing it down in my eternal scroll. The world missed it, but heaven documented it. You are not overlooked, you are deeply observed. And what I've observed, I now honor. Because you didn't do it for visibility. You didn't do it for credit. You didn't do it for status. You did it for me. And child, that means everything. You did it because you knew, somewhere deep in your bones, that I was watching. And that was enough. Let me tell you, I never forget the offerings made in obscurity. I never miss the worship wrapped in waiting. I never overlook the faithfulness found in fatigue. You see, you've been faithful in ways that heaven celebrates and the world forgets. Faithful in the unseen. Faithful in the mundane. Faithful in the painful. That moment when you chose to forgive before they apologized. I saw that. The time you gave when no one would know. I recorded that. The prayer you whispered through gritted teeth, through tears, through trembling. I heard every syllable. Don't let the lack of earthly recognition dull the brightness of what you've done. The reward I'm preparing for you isn't a reaction to human applause. It's a response to divine alignment. I don't bless based on noise. I bless based on nearness. And you, my child, have drawn near to me in a way that few ever dare. You've chosen the narrow road when the wide one screamed your name. You've chosen honor over haste. And for that, you are not only remembered, you are marked. Marked for favor. Marked for increase. Marked for more than you thought possible. Because what you did was more than good, it was godly. And in a world starving for recognition, you fed me reverence. You offered up the kind of obedience that doesn't show up in photographs or social media captions. You offered me the kind of faith that only grows in secret, in surrender, in silence. And now, the season is shifting. The ground beneath your feet is starting to yield. What you sowed in secrecy, I will water in public. What you laid down without fanfare, I will resurrect with power. My timing may have looked like delay, but it was preservation. I preserved the moment for the day of unveiling. And that unveiling begins now. So hear me, child. Do not second guess what you've done. Don't let doubt distort the weight of your worship. What you did was not small. It was sacred. It was eternal. It was seen by me. You honored me with your actions. You magnified me with your motives. You invited me into places others try to handle alone. And because of that, I will show myself strong on your behalf. You have not just moved me, you've moved things in the spirit that are now about to manifest in the natural. Watch what I do with the thing you thought didn't matter. Watch how I turn a whisper of faith into a wave of fulfillment. Watch how I respond to what you did in the dark with light that cannot be denied. I'm proud of you, so proud, for doing this. And I am not done revealing just how much. You passed a test without realizing you were in one. It was a divine examination wrapped in ordinary hours. No announcement, no trumpet, no angel standing at your doorway declaring, "This is the moment." Just me, quietly watching, endlessly measuring, eternally recorded. And in the stillness of your obedience, you passed something far more difficult than an open challenge. You passed the test of the unseen. That is the one most people never recognize until it's too late. But you, my beloved, you walked through that fire with no need for spectacle. You didn't need confirmation to remain committed. You didn't ask for clarity before walking forward. You didn't demand comfort before extending your trust. You simply trusted. You simply obeyed. And in that obedience, something sacred was activated. You were tested in silence, and still you chose surrender. You were tested in delay, and still you clung to me. You were tested in emotional fatigue, relational disappointment, mental exhaustion, spiritual dryness, and still, your spirit whispered my name in the dark. That is not weakness, child. That is wonder. That is weight. That is the kind of strength I build my kingdom with. You see, not all tests look like battles. Some look like boredom. Some look like days without confirmation. Some look like nothing is happening, while I am watching every hidden heartbeat of faithfulness within you. And that's what this was, a test of trust, a test of persistence, a test of purity. And you passed not because you performed, but because you remain. You didn't run from the silence. You leaned into it. You didn't panic when I seemed still. You waited. And my God, how heaven celebrates such waiting. Because in that waiting, my image was being formed in you. In that quiet choice, my spirit was enlarging your capacity. While you walked forward without signs, I was engraving strength into your bones. You didn't need lightning in the sky to keep believing. You only needed the memory of my voice. That, child, is spiritual maturity. That is divine resilience. That is fire-tested faith. And what you've proven in this secret place has given you access to promises others only dream about. You didn't even realize it, but your endurance was opening scrolls in the spirit realm. Your patience was unlocking provision. Your loyalty was shaking loose miracles long held back. Not because I withheld them in punishment, but because I was saving them for someone who wouldn't lose them in pride. Someone who would know how to carry them with trembling hands and a bowed heart. And that someone is you. So let me declare this to you now, with no ambiguity. I am proud of you for passing this test. I am proud of the way you didn't announce your obedience to others, but offered it quietly to me. I'm proud of the way you chose devotion without documentation. I'm proud of the way you passed through this pressure and emerged refined, not bitter. You didn't even know it, but your posture in this past season has set you apart. You have qualified for something rare, something weighty, something holy. And what I release next in your life will not be the result of earned favor, but proven trust. I trust you with what's coming because you trusted me when it cost you. I honor you now because you honored me when I felt hidden. And for that, child, heaven rejoices over you. What you offered me wasn't performance. It was purity. It wasn't a transaction. It was a testament. A testament that you value my presence more than platforms, my whispers more than recognition, my timing more than your own understanding. And child, I can't tell you how rare that is in this world. So many seek me for what I can do, for what I can give. But you sought me for who I am. And when you didn't get the answer, you didn't walk away. When doors didn't open, you didn't slam them shut in frustration. You stayed. You remained. You lingered with me in the silence like a friend, not a customer. And that, my beloved, moved me more than words can convey. You offered me a still heart instead of a striving one. You gave me reverence when you could have given resentment. And that kind of offering carries fragrance, not the fragrance of formality, but the incense of intimacy. You see, in heaven's throne room, it's not the loudest praise that turns heads. It's the most sincere. It's the kind of worship that has no strings attached. The kind that says, even if you never change this, I'll stay. That's the worship that gets inscribed in heaven's archives. That's the kind of devotion that echoes through eternity. You gave me that, child, and it is still rising before me. The fragrance of your last yes hasn't left my throne. It's lingering. It's speaking. It's making room for favor you haven't even imagined. You may not have felt it at the time, but what you did recently, that quiet decision, that moment of surrender, it was a signal in the spirit. It told the heavens that your heart was ready. It told angels to move. It told me, your father, this one can be trusted with more. Because it wasn't about your perfection. It was about your posture. Your posture of humility. Your posture of dependence. Your posture of adoration in the middle of uncertainty. That posture has drawn me in. It has turned this next season into fertile ground. You've been wondering when the shift will happen, and I'm telling you, the shift already began the moment you said yes when it hurt. The moment you worshipped without answers. The moment you lowered yourself to lift me higher. So hear me again. I am not distant. I am not unmoved. I am proud of what you just did, even if no one else saw it. Even if no one clapped or posted or praised or applauded. I saw it. I felt it. I honored it. And I will reward it. The world won't understand how the doors begin to open. They won't comprehend the sudden acceleration, the unexpected provision, the favor that follows you like a shadow. But I will know. You will know. Because it all started with that quiet, trembling, beautiful act of faith. That whisper of obedience. That moment when you did the right thing even when it cost you comfort. And for that, I will never stop saying, I am proud of you for doing this. You turned the other cheek not out of weakness, but because you've learned the sacred power of restraint guided by love. Oh, how holy that moment was, when you could have responded, could have retaliated, could have defended, and instead you stood still. Not frozen in fear, but firm in faith. What looked like passivity to others was power in my eyes. divine power. Because restraint in the hands of a surrendered heart is not passivity, it is prophetic precision. You didn't ignore the offense, you overruled it with grace. You didn't deny the wound, you chose to heal it with silence instead of vengeance. That choice, beloved, made angels lean in. That choice shifted something tectonic in the spirit. Your restraint was not a retreat. It was a holy advancement. It declared, I trust God's justice more than my own impulse. I need you to understand what happened in that moment. You were standing at the crossroad between reaction and revelation, between instinct and integrity. And child, you chose me. You chose not to let the enemy manipulate your emotions into building a case. You didn't collect offenses. You let them fall like dry leaves in autumn. And that forgiveness, that holy fire of grace, has now become a shield around your future. While others rehearse their bitterness, you released it. And now I can release more to you. Because those who carry vengeance cannot carry volume. They are too weighed down by what they refuse to drop. But you, my child, dropped it. You laid it at my feet. You didn't drag it behind you like a chain. You turned the other cheek and let heaven turn the page. That is why I am turning things in your favor now. You see, forgiveness is not just for the past. It fertilizes the future. And what you did, that seemingly invisible choice, broke generational patterns. It wasn't just personal. It was prophetic. You broke the cycle. You ended the echo. You silenced the sound of retaliation that had repeated for decades. And in its place, you let my mercy rise. This is the kind of obedience that doesn't just bless you, it restores what was stolen from your lineage. When you held your tongue, I released strategy. When you chose grace, I assigned angels. When you stayed quiet in love, I started speaking in places your name had never been mentioned before. That's how heaven works, beloved. We move when mercy reigns. And because you made mercy your weapon, I now make favor your reward. I am proud of you, not just because of what you withheld, but because of what you released. The fragrance of forgiveness, the sound of surrender, the weight of worship that isn't son but live. That's what you offered me. That's what the enemy hoped you'd never give. But you gave it freely. And now I give something in return, peace that silences torment, favor that outruns the opposition, restoration that doesn't resemble revenge, but revival. Watch now, as the fruit of your forgiveness begins to bloom. You thought it was small, a simple gesture, but in my kingdom, it was seismic, and I will honor it with results that leave no question whose hand is upon your life. I saw it, I received it, and I am proud of you for doing this. I am proud of you for not choosing what was popular. You chose what was pure. And that choice, though quiet, has thundered through eternity. You could have aligned with the current of culture, fast, loud, self-centered, but instead, you chose the narrow way. You chose the sacred way, the unpopular path, the lonely road that few are willing to walk. You chose purity over popularity, integrity over image, conviction over compromise. And oh, beloved, what a weighty decision that was. What a heaven-shaking moment. The crowd never sees the cost of walking alone. But I saw it. I felt it. And I marked it. You sacrificed acceptance for authenticity. You chose holiness when hype was available. And for that, I am not just proud. I am preparing to display something through your life that could only come through that kind of consecration. You didn't follow trends, you followed truth. You didn't chase applause, you chased me. And I want you to know, I don't take that lightly. Because purity in this age is radical. It's revolutionary. It's rare. And when I find it, I honor it. You could have diluted your standards to blend in, but you held your line. You could have adjusted your convictions to gain approval, but you stood firm. You were offered shortcuts, platforms, partnerships that would have pushed you forward in the world's eyes. But you said no. And in doing so, you said yes to something greater. My agenda, my timeline, my glory. That is not missed in my eyes. I do not overlook those who overlook the world for me. I reward them. Openly. Abundantly. Lavishly. Your decision to walk in purity has created a ripple effect. It has cleared the air for others around you to breathe. It has modeled to angels what trust looks like. It has opened a channel between your heart and my throne that is now ready to carry greater revelation, deeper wisdom, and supernatural strategy. You thought it was just about keeping your integrity, but it was about securing influence, real influence, in realms that cannot be seen. While others climb ladders built by compromise, I am lifting you on winds built by worship. I do not promote like man promotes. I do not elevate like the systems of the world elevate. I honor what is holy. And you, my beloved, are walking in a kind of holiness that pulls heaven close. So let me make it abundantly clear, I am proud of you for choosing what was pure, for turning your back on what looked shiny but was spiritually bankrupt, for remaining true to the identity I gave you when the world offered you counterfeit versions. That kind of purity is powerful. That kind of choice changes nations, even if it starts in silence. You made the hard choice, a holy choice, and heaven has recorded it as legacy. What I do next through your life will reflect that decision. It will be tailored. It will be timely. And it will be undeniably me. You didn't just walk away from popularity, you walked into prophetic purpose. And because of that, I say again, with all the weight of eternity behind my voice, I am proud of you for doing this. You held your peace when provoked. You released what hurt you. You forgave before the apology came. This is maturity. This is mastery in the spirit. And I saw every second of it. Don't you ever think your silence was weakness. It was wahid. Don't think your patience was invisibility. It was intercession. Every second you restrained your lips, every moment you refused to echo back offense, you were declaring something far more powerful than vengeance. You were declaring trust. Trust in my justice. Trust in my timing. Trust in my character. You forgave not because they deserved it, but because I asked you to. That is holy obedience. That is spiritual royalty. That is a level of surrender that few ever reach. But you, my child, you touched it. And when you touched that place, the place where mercy triumphs over the need to be right, you released a flood of heaven into your situation. I cannot ignore that kind of surrender. I cannot overlook that kind of faith. When you chose peace over pettiness, I stepped in. When you chose release over revenge, I moved. And I am still moving. Because I don't need the noise of drama to work. I need the stillness of trust. You created space for me to act. You allowed my justice to breathe. You gave me room to maneuver in ways that wouldn't have been possible had you taken matters into your own hands. The power of that decision is still rippling across timelines you cannot yet see. Chains that would have wrapped around your future have already snapped because you refused to carry the weight of offense forward. I know it hurt. I know it felt unfair. I know it seemed like they got away with something. But child, hear me. No one gets away when I am your defender. They didn't escape. They were spared. And the sparing wasn't just for them. It was for you. Because if you had responded out of your wounds instead of your wisdom, the enemy would have had legal ground to sow deeper division. But you shut that down with your silence. You silenced the accuser by becoming a peacemaker. You disarmed darkness by choosing light. And I am so deeply proud of you for that. So completely moved. Because it's easy to love those who love you. But when you bless those who wounded you, that's when you begin to look like me. So let me say this with finality. I saw it. I jury it. I responded to it. And I am still responding. This is not the end of that story. What you surrendered has become a seed. A holy seed that is about to bloom in ways you never imagined. You didn't just forgive. You activated favor. You didn't just let go. You laid a foundation for supernatural restoration. I will take that act and multiply it. I will use it to open doors that never should have opened. I will use it to release resources you didn't even pray for. Why? Because that kind of maturity shakes heaven. And I reward what reflects me. And child, you reflected me in that moment. I am proud of you for doing this. You didn't hold back your faith. Now don't hold back your fire. The same obedience that moved my heart is the very obedience that fuels my word going forward. Child, every time you give, you're not just supporting a message. You are sowing light into someone else's darkness. Just as I said in Isaiah 55:11, my word will not return void, and I am speaking that through you now. I've stirred your spirit because there are others who need to hear what you've just heard. You have become the oil bearer, the water pourer, the one who extends the miracle. I'm proud of you for standing. Now I'm inviting you to build. Your giving is a weapon, a seed and a key. Go now. Use the super thanks, join the membership, or give through PayPal below and watch what I multiply back into your life. You kept sowing into dry soil, believing in my rain even when the clouds refused to form. That faith, beloved, is not ordinary. It is extraordinary. It is rare. It is radiant. I watched you plant seeds with tears in your eyes, wondering if you'd ever see the fruit. I watched you keep giving when you had every excuse to withhold. I saw you serve when no one thanked you. I saw you pour out while others simply passed by. And through it all, the dry seasons, the silent seasons, the disappointing detours, you kept sowing. You kept showing up. You kept pressing forward. And let me assure you, not one seed went unnoticed. Not one drop of obedience was wasted. The ground may have looked barren, but your faith was doing the deep work of tilling soil the eye could not see. The world calls it foolishness, to keep believing when there's no proof, to keep loving when you've been hurt, to keep praying when the answers feel delayed. But heaven calls it faith, and faith is never wasted. Faith is never fragile. Faith, especially the kind you've displayed, is a weapon. And child, you've been wielding it even in your weariness. You stood in the middle of drought with a watering can of belief. You spoke life over what looked dead. You refused to give up even when discouragement howled at your door. That is what sets you apart. That is what heaven records. Your sowing didn't look significant to others, but in the archives of eternity, it was monumental. And now, the season is shifting. The rain is coming. Not just in droplets, but in downpour. You didn't just sow seed. You sowed legacy. You sowed worship. You sowed prophecy into the soil of your destiny. And now, I will respond. The dry ground is beginning to break. The roots are awakening beneath the surface. What you've been tending in tears will bloom in joy. What you thought was silence was actually strategy. I was preparing the soil, aligning the seasons, commanding the clouds to hold until your heart was strong enough to carry the weight of the harvest. Because this harvest isn't just for you. It's for those connected to your yes. And because you didn't quit, the breakthrough will not delay. I want you to brace yourself. What's coming will be a trickle. It will be a torrent. Favor that overtakes. Blessings that bloom overnight. Opportunities that feel too perfectly timed to be coincidence, because they are not. They are compensation. Compensation for every seed, every season, every silent act of service. I am about to bless you in ways that prove one thing above all, that your faith was never in vain. I saw the sowing. I counted the cost. And now, I release the rain. Get ready, my beloved, because I am proud of you for doing this. And what you planted in private, I will now reward in public. You blessed someone who didn't bless you back. You gave when you barely had enough for yourself. You prayed for others while your own heart was breaking in silence. And that, my child, is what it means to walk in my image. You mirrored me in the moments that cost you the most. You reflected my heart when yours was still healing. You didn't wait for abundance to be generous. You gave from your lack. You didn't wait for the crowd to join you. You stepped out alone. And that kind of love, selfless, sacrificial, supernatural, is the kind of love that rewrites destinies. I watched as you gave when it was uncomfortable, as you forgave when it was undeserved, and as you chose mercy when bitterness would have been easier. You were never unseen in those moments. Never. I stood beside you every single time you extended kindness to someone who never returned it. I saw the tears you wiped away quietly while you still spoke life to someone else. I heard the whisper of, God, help them, even when they wounded you. Do you understand the weight of that? Do you realize what that does in the spiritual realm? That's not just character. That's kingdom. That's not just decency. That's divine DNA bursting through the cracks of a broken world. Every act of generosity, every unseen intercession, every delayed reaction of compassion, they've been recorded like sums in heaven. Your life has become a melody of mercy, and the harmonies are still echoing beyond what the human ear can hear. You didn't give for recognition, which is why I am now recognizing it. You didn't sow for applause, which is why I'm releasing heavenly applause into your atmosphere. What's coming to you is not a reward. It is a response. A response to your endurance. A response to your giving. A response to your faithful sowing when the ground looked barren and your own soul felt overlooked. I watched you love without leverage, and now I'm about to restore what was spent. I'm about to pour back into you what you thought was lost forever. Because the currency of my kingdom isn't just gold or glory, it's grace. And you have given grace like royalty. You have extended mercy like a vessel full of heaven. And now heaven will fill you in return. I am proud of you, child. Deeply. Eternally. Personally. I am proud of the way you continued even when you were depleted. I am proud of the way you blessed what didn't bless you back, not because you had to, but because you chose to. You carried me into places others abandoned. You extended my spirit when no one else was looking. And I have not forgotten. Your reward will not merely be compensation. It will be confirmation that I was watching the whole time. Get ready. The turnaround has already begun. You've moved me, and now I will move for you. I am proud of you for doing this. You kept sowing into dry soil, believing in my rain even when the clouds refused to form. That faith has fertilized the ground beneath your feet in ways even you do not fully comprehend. Child, listen. You didn't just plant actions. You planted belief. You planted vision. You planted loyalty. And because of that, The land you thought was barren is now being prepared for overflow. I watched as you continued to sow joy in places soaked with sorrow. I saw you plant patience into seasons that dragged on longer than your strength. And I saw you, yes, you, refuse to stop sowing, even when nothing seemed to grow. You kept believing. You kept bending your knees. You kept breaking your alabaster jar, even when others mocked the oil. You didn't give up on the harvest. You trusted me with the drought. And here is what you must understand. Your consistency in dry seasons was not a waste. It was a weapon. It broke spiritual droughts. It disrupted demonic timelines. Your consistency confused the enemy because he counted on your collapse. He wagered on your weariness. He waited for you to stop, but you didn't. You sowed anyway. You lifted your hands in worship when you had every excuse to fold your arms in frustration. You kept declaring, kept praying, kept believing in things no one else saw. And child, I saw every single act of faith, especially the ones that felt small and silent. Those are the ones that move me the most. And now, because of that, something powerful has been released. The rain. Yes, the rain is coming. And it won't be gentle. You won't be small. You won't be delayed. It will be downpour, divine, direct, and undeniable. You didn't wait for signs to sow, and now I won't wait to send the harvest. You have stepped into a season of acceleration, not because of what you see, but because of what I see in you. You were faithful when it was dry, and now I will be extravagant when it blooms. This harvest isn't random. It's customized. It has your name on it. Because it was watered by your tears, cultivated by your trust, and nurtured by your never-letting-go kind of faith. So brace yourself. What's coming isn't just fruit. It's fulfillment. What's coming isn't just supply. It's overflow. And all of this is because you sowed when the soil said, give up. You gave when logic said, save for yourself. You worshipped when your soul said, it's too late. And that's why I say again, from the depths of my eternal heart, I am proud of you for doing this. What others ignored, I honored. What others dismissed, I documented. And now my rain will wash over every dry place. My favor will flood the fields you forgot you planted in. The clouds are gathering. The ground is shifting. The wind is changing. Because you kept sowing. And I, your God, never failed to respond to that. You want to wave and that, my child, was one of the most powerful decisions you've ever made. It didn't come with applause. It didn't come with ease. It came with anguish. It came with loneliness. It came with aching. But it also came with alignment. You turned down the counterfeit to make room for the covenant. You walked away from shallow waters because you were made for deep. And I watched you wrestle, not just with temptation, but with timing. I saw the war inside your heart. The quiet battle between your desire and your discernment. And still, you chose me. You chose to walk away. You chose to release what glimmered on the surface because you recognized it didn't carry my breath beneath. And that is wisdom. That is worship. You didn't know it, but in that moment, you were preaching the most powerful sermon of your life. A sermon not of words, but of will. A declaration that said, I would rather wait in obedience than rush into regret. You forfeited the temporary to protect the eternal. And though it felt like loss, it was gain. Eternal gain. I saw how you silenced your own hopes just to stay in harmony with my voice. And choice wasn't just difficult, it was divine. You sacrificed speed for sanctification. You turned your back on good enough because you believe that I am a God of more. And I am. You believed that the same God who makes stars and orchestrates galaxies would not let you settle for less than heaven's best. And that belief, child, that deep, holy belief, it moved me. Now hear me clearly, that decision has been accounted for. I took note. I took inventory. I marked the moment in the archives of heaven. And because you gave me your surrender, I am now preparing your suddenly. It will look like what you walked away from. It will look like what I dreamed for you from the beginning. It will carry weight, not just sparkle. It will come with confirmation, not confusion. It will speak peace, not pressure. You said no to what the world celebrates, and now I will give you what heaven has reserved. You refused to grab what was easy, and now I will release what is ordained. You didn't just walk away, you walked up. You elevated into a new atmosphere of authority. That single step of obedience gave you spiritual access others spend years praying for. So let me say this plainly, and write it deep on your heart. I am proud of you for doing this. For choosing me when it wasn't obvious. For trusting me when it wasn't easy. For prioritizing purity when compromise was more convenient. You didn't miss your moment. You made room for the right one. You didn't delay your future. You protected it. And now, the windows of heaven are opening. What you thought was sacrifice is actually strategy. What you thought was letting go is actually being lifted. The delay was never denial. It was divine redirection. And now that you've passed the test, the reward is coming. Not because you earned it, but because you proved I could trust you with it. You opened your heart to me again, even after it had been broken. And that, my precious one, is the bravest thing you've ever done. It wasn't loud. It wasn't public. It wasn't even something you knew how to put into words. But I saw it. I felt it. I witnessed the sacred, trembling moment when you lifted your heart, still bruised, still bleeding, and whispered, "Lord, I still trust you." That whisper echoed louder in heaven than the mightiest roar. That whisper was a victory cry, not because the pain had vanished, but because you trusted me enough to come close even when it hurt. You allowed me into the cracked places, not with walls, but with worship. You let me in not as your last resort, but as your first love. That was not small, child. That was seismic. You see, the enemy was banking on that heartbreak closing you off. He hoped that betrayal would build a wall so high that even my whisper couldn't get through. But you let me touch the tender place. You allowed me to wrap my hand around your grief. You didn't numb it. You didn't hide it. You brought it to me just as it was, raw, unfiltered, unpolished. And that, my child, is holy. That's where healing begins. You invited me into your pain, not with a demand, but with devotion. You didn't say, "Fix this," you said, "Sit with me." And I did. I've been sitting with you. Every tear has been caught. Every sigh had been received. Every ache has been recorded in the library of my compassion. I never asked you to pretend you were okay. I only asked that you bring me what was real. And you did. You placed the ashes of your heartbreak on my altar, not knowing I was already preparing beauty in exchange. You gave me your questions without requiring answers. You gave me your silence without expecting performance. And that kind of offering, vulnerable, unguarded, unedited, it is rare. And because of that offering, I am now preparing restoration that will exceed every previous ruin. I'm not just healing what broke, I'm rebuilding what never had the chance to flourish. Your willingness to feel pain in my presence instead of numb it elsewhere has preserved your destiny. You didn't close your heart. You opened it. And because of that, heaven is opening over you. So let me speak this as thunder into your soul. I am proud of you for doing this. I am proud of you for letting me into the places where others walked out, for trusting me with your wounds, for not letting heartbreak have the final say. You didn't harden. You healed. You didn't retreat. You released. You didn't self-protect. You surrendered. And now I will do what I promised: restore, redeem, and resurrect. The season of numbness is over. The season of divine embrace has come. And I will carry you into joy that makes the sorrow worth surviving. All because you opened your heart to me again. And that, beloved, changed everything. You stood alone, and still you stood. When support vanished, when the crowd thinned, when even those you leaned on withdrew, you did not collapse. You did not crumble. You held your ground with trembling knees and a trusting heart. And that, my child, is the kind of faith that cannot be taught. It is forged. Forged in the furnace of isolation. Forged in the quiet chambers of tears cried in secret. Forged in the aching spaces where affirmation is absent but my whisper is present. You stood when it felt like no one saw you. You stood when you were misunderstood. You stood when standing meant being misjudged, left out, or labeled. But beloved, I saw it all. And what you called just surviving, I call supernatural strength. Do not underestimate what happened in that lonely place. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. I was stripping away the noise, silencing the distractions, removing the false comforts, not to abandon you, but to anchor you. I was taking away what could be shaken so that what remained would be unshakable. And child, what remained was you. Still standing, still believing, still worshiping, still listening for my voice when every other voice went silent. That is no small thing. That is not just persistence, it is prophetic positioning. Because while you stood in the natural, you were ascending in the spirit. You were being elevated into realms of spiritual authority that only those forged in solitude can carry. You thought you were being left behind, but in reality, I was drawing you ahead. Yes, ahead. Ahead of the noise. Ahead of the narrative. Ahead of the timeline others are still chasing. You were being trained in stillness so that you could lead in the storm. You were learning my rhythm, not the frantic pulse of the world, but the slow, sacred cadence of heaven. You were learning that sometimes elevation looks like isolation, that sometimes increase comes in silence, that sometimes the greatest victories are not shouted from rooftops, but whispered between you and me in the midnight hour. And in those whispers, I release secrets, strategies, strength. What I whispered to you in the dark will soon be declared in the light. And when people wonder where your wisdom came from, you'll know it was born in the lonely place, the sacred place, the place where you stood with me, and I stood with you. So hear me clearly, child. I am proud of you for doing this, for not running from solitude, for not cursing the quiet, for trusting me when the crowd left. What you saw as abandonment, I saw as appointment. What you thought was silence was actually sacred speech. And now, I will raise you up in ways that others cannot replicate, because they didn't walk where you walked. They didn't stand where you stood. They didn't cry the prayers you prayed or bleed the tears you shed. But I did. I was there. And I will now honor the hidden fight with visible favor. Get ready, for the season of solitude is shifting into the season of spotlight. And I'm placing you there not for applause, but for assignment. You chose to remain soft when life tried to harden you. You kept your heart open when it would have been easier to shut it down. You loved again after loss. You trusted again after betrayal. You dreamed again after disappointment. That is divine resilience. That is not weakness. That is warriorhood in the spirit. The world teaches that strength is cold, hard, untouchable. But I say to you, strength is the heart that still feels, the soul that still believes, the spirit that still sings after the storm. And child, you are strong. Strong in mercy. Strong in hope. Strong in the places where pain tried to steal your softness. You refused to let bitterness build a fortress around your future. You refused to let numbness write your narrative. And that refusal changed everything. I watched as you woke up morning after morning, feeling the weight of disappointment pressing down like a storm cloud, and yet still choosing to love, to give, to bless. You didn't pretend the pain wasn't there. You just refused to let it become your prison. That, my beloved, is what makes you dangerous to the darkness. Because a tender heart in a hardened world is a threat to every spirit of despair. Your softness wasn't fragility. It was faith in disguise. It said, no matter what's been done to me, I still believe in goodness. I still believe in God. And that belief has now begun to build bridges into places where other hearts have shut down. What the enemy tried to twist into trauma, I am transforming into testimony. And not just for you, but for those you will now reach. You see, those cracks in your heart, they weren't meant to destroy you. They've become windows where my light shines through. People will come close and feel safe with you, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. Because your softness survived the fire. Because your love didn't rot into bitterness. Because you still carry warmth in a cold world. That is rare. That is divine. And that is why I will use you now, to heal others, to hold space for the hurting, to pour oil into wounds with wisdom born of your own. You will not only comfort, but carry. You will not only relate, you will rebuild. Because your softness is strength wrapped in surrender. And it is that surrender I will now honor publicly. So let me say it with no shadow of doubt. I am proud of you for doing this. For staying tender when life offered you walls. For choosing vulnerability over vengeance. For letting me keep your heart pliable when it could have turned to stone. Your softness is sacred. Your compassion is costly. And your heart, that beating, bruised, beautiful heart, is exactly where I live. I have not overlooked a single decision you've made to love again. And I will now reward those decisions with encounters so real, so raw, so restorative that you will know it was worth it. It was all worth it. Not just for what it birthed in others, but for what it grew in you. You are mine. And I am proud of you for doing this. You started again, when everything in you said, don't. You picked up your hope, even when it lay shattered on the floor. You dared to dream again in a place that had only ever disappointed you before. And that, my child, moved me. Not because it was perfect, not because it was loud, but because it was real. You had every reason to quit. Every reason to shrink. Every reason to settle for survival instead of stepping into purpose. But you didn't. You came back. You tried again. You reached. Even if it was with trembling hands, even if it was with a whisper of faith rather than a shout, you still said, maybe, just maybe, he's not done with me yet. And that whisper shook the heavens. It sent tremors through every lie the enemy tried to trap you with. I saw how you stood over the ashes of what once was, with pain in your chest and questions in your soul, and still had the courage to say, God, breathe again. Do you know what it does in my heart? It draws me near like a magnet. Because there's nothing more powerful than a person who doesn't let disappointment have the final word. That's what you did. You didn't let the closed doors, the failures, the betrayals, or the loss define the edges of your life. You decided to believe in more. You looked at the ruins and still spoke resurrection. And that is the faith I build empires on. That is the kind of resolve I release miracles into. Because starting again takes more courage than starting for the first time. And I honor courage. Let me tell you a secret. You were never starting from scratch. You were starting from strength. The strength of everything you survived. The wisdom you didn't have last time. The humility that only heartbreak can carve. And with every step you've taken since then, you've been moving not backward, but deeper, deeper into me. Deeper into purpose, deeper into identity. Every new beginning wasn't proof of failure, it was proof of favor. Favor that refuses to let you rot in disappointment. Favor that keeps calling you higher. Favor that refuses to let your story end in the chapter called almost. That's why doors are opening again. That's why provision is showing up again. Because heaven always responds to faith that chooses to rise again. So hear me now, and let this settle in your soul like sunlight breaking through clouds. I am proud of you for doing this, for choosing to believe again, for trying again, for showing up again, even when nothing looked different. I saw it all, the hesitations, the inner dialogue, the battle just to take that first step. And I say to you, it was not in vain. I am blessing your beginning. I am breathing on your bravery. I am accelerating what once took years. Because this time, you're not doing it in your own strength, you're doing it with me. And that changes everything. You trusted me without the evidence. You walked forward with nothing but a promise. You obeyed even when the blueprint was blurry. And that, child, that is the kind of faith that rewrites futures. You didn't have clarity. You didn't have confirmation. You didn't even have a guarantee. But you had me. And you decided that I was enough. You chose trust over control. You moved without manipulating. You said yes without seeing. And that kind of obedience carries a fragrance that fills my throne room. It is where it is radiant, and it is remembered. Every step you took in uncertainty became a declaration that my voice was more reliable to you than your circumstances, and that declaration echoed in eternity. I know how hard it was. I know what it cost you. I know the internal tug-of-war between faith and fear. But you silenced the noise and followed the whisper. You left comfort for calling. You walked away from what made sense into what required surrender. And that surrender became sacred. You may not have seen immediate fruit, but the roots were growing. Deep, strong, holy roots, the kind that can carry heavy glory. You thought nothing was happening. But child, everything was happening. In the invisible, in the atmosphere, in the alignment of people and places and moments you couldn't have predicted if you tried. Because when you trust me blindly, I guide you boldly. And that's exactly what I've been doing. You've been walking by faith, and I've been walking with you, planting promises with every step, seeding miracles in every movement. You thought you were wondering, but you were actually aligning. You thought you were delayed, but you were being developed. The detours, the pauses, the unanswered prayers, they weren't setbacks. They were sacred setup. You were being positioned, not punished. Refined, not rejected. And now, because you trusted me in the dark, I will reveal things in the light that others won't be able to explain. Favor that doesn't match your resume. Breakthroughs that defy logic. Doors you didn't knock on opening because of steps you took in secret obedience. This is what happens when faith leads. I reward faith, and I will reward yours. So let me speak clearly to your spirit now. I am proud of you for doing this, for trusting me when the world told you to wait for proof, for choosing faith when fear was more familiar, for obeying when every part of you wanted to hold back. That kind of trust is not common. That kind of surrender is not small. And that is why I am moving now, because you did. You moved when you didn't see. You obeyed when it didn't make sense. You walked even when you couldn't trace me. And now I will make myself known. You will see what your faith has birthed. You will taste what your obedience made room for. This is your season of seeing, because you chose to walk in believing. You stopped comparing yourself and started embracing your own anointing. That is no small thing. That is a monumental shift in the spirit realm. Because comparison is a thief, a lie, a trap, and you broke free. You used to scroll, to look, to measure yourself against the noise. You used to silently question why your progress didn't look like theirs, why their door opened while yours remained closed. And yet, you let me reach into that sacred place, the place where insecurity had wrapped its fingers around your vision, and you allowed me to cut the cord. That permission, that choice to stop feeding the lie and start watering your own promise. It changed everything. Child, when you turned your eyes back to me, when you said, I'll go at the pace of your presence, not the pace of people, something shifted in the realm of destiny. Your surrender spoke louder than your silence ever could. You no longer chased their timelines. You returned to mine. You no longer chased influence. You said, Lord, just let me be in your will. You released the torment of comparison and received the tranquility of contentment. Not because you stopped dreaming, but because you started trusting. You began to believe that what I had for you was not just good, it was tailored. And in doing so, you began to activate the anointing that comparison had been bearing for too long. You are not like them because I didn't make you like them. You don't move like them because I didn't assign you to their lane. I placed my thumbprint on your soul for a reason. The rhythm you carry, the voice you release, the presence you bring. It's not meant to mimic. It's meant to pierce. And because you stopped measuring yourself by man's mirrors, I'm now going to magnify what's been inside you all along. You are not behind. You are becoming. And as you've let go of the pressure to keep up, I've been lifting you into places no algorithm, no follower count, no recognition could ever manufacture. This is holy momentum. Supernatural promotion. And it all started the moment you said, God, I choose to believe I'm enough in your hands. So listen now to what I speak with fire and finality. I am proud of you for doing this, for turning your eyes from others and turning your ears toward me, for laying down the burden of comparison and picking up the joy of uniqueness. I created you with intentionality, not as a copy, but as a catalyst. And because you've reclaimed your identity, I'm about to release what's been waiting for the real you to rise. No more shadows. No more thinking. No more waiting for permission from man when you've already been appointed by God. I'm about to make it clear. Your portion is pure, your assignment is active, and your future is not delayed. It's destined. You chose surrender over control, and now I'm placing a divine assignment in your hands. This message, this moment, wasn't just for you, it's a spark meant to ignite others. I've entrusted you with the fire. Now will you help me spread it? As I said in Luke 6:38, give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. This is your moment to sow into a harvest that will outlive you. When you give, you don't just support a mission, you become part of it. And child, every drop of generosity is drenched in my favor. Use Super Thanks, become a monthly member, or give through PayPal below, and watch me open the floodgates. You let go of control, even when you didn't understand. And that, my beloved, is one of the purest forms of worship I have ever received from you. I know what it cost. I know how hard it was. Because you are the kind of person who plans, who prepares, who protects what matters. But in this season, you did something extraordinary. You placed your plans, your timelines, your blueprints, all of it, into my hands without demanding a guarantee. You laid down the illusion of control, and in doing so, you lifted up the kind of trust that moves mountains. That surrender was not weakness. It was warfare. It was victory in slow motion. You didn't let go because you gave up. You let go because you gave me authority. You made room for my sovereignty. You said, Lord, I don't need all the answers. I just need to know you're still with me. And that sentence, whispered through tears, some through clenched teeth, offered in the middle of silence. It thundered in my throne room. It rattled the chains that tried to wrap around your next season. You didn't need to know the whole picture. You just needed to know that I was painting it. And beloved, I am. Every stroke, every shade, every shadow, it's all deliberate. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. What looked like delay was divine development. What looked like a vision was actually careful and stricken. I watched you unclench your fists. I watched you surrender the outcome of things that mattered to you. The relationship, the opportunity, the healing, the moment you thought had to happen now. I saw how you brought me your fear, and instead of bargaining, you just believe it. You said, even if it doesn't happen the way I hoped, I will still believe you're good. That kind of trust, deep, raw, unscripted, is not just rare. It's royal. It's what my kings and queens are made of. That's what Abraham carried up the mountain. That's what Esther held before the throne. That's what you just walked into, without applause, without spotlight, but with substance. You surrendered, and heaven recorded it. So let me say this now, with all the reverence you deserve. I am proud of you for doing this, for letting go of control and choosing me instead. You don't even realize it yet, but you shifted things. You've cleared spiritual pathways. You've opened gates of favor that were waiting for surrender to unlock them. Because where control ends, my miracles begin. Where surrender rises, my glory descends. And now it's descending. Not because you forced it, but because you released it. So get ready, beloved. The answer you stopped begging for is about to appear. The dream you placed on the altar is about to breathe again. And it's all because you let go. You did the brave thing, a holy thing. And yes, I am proud of you for doing this. You walked through this storm, and you didn't let it change who you are. You could have become bitter. You could have hardened. You could have thrown up your hands and walked away from everything. But you didn't. You let the wind tear through your comfort, but you clung to me. You let the waves crash, but you never let go of your worship. I know it wasn't easy. I know how violent the shaking was. I know how often you wondered if you would survive. But beloved, you did. And more than that, you survived without losing your softness, without losing your joy, without losing your identity. The storm tried to steal your voice, but here you are, still speaking, still believing, still loving. And what you don't see yet, but you will, is that your consistency in the chaos has built something eternal. You built faith muscles in that furnace. You stretched your endurance. You discovered reserves of grace you didn't know you had. And more than anything, you discovered that I was enough, even when everything else broke. Do you remember the nights you wept alone, whispering, "God, if you don't carry me, I can't go on"? I carried you. I didn't just walk beside you. I placed my arm around your weary soul and held you when you had no strength left. That storm wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal you. And oh, what a revelation it has been. You are stronger than you know, not because of what you endured, but because of who you held on to. You didn't understand everything, and that's okay. Understanding was never your requirement. Trust was. And trust is what you gave me, over and over again, even when I didn't explain the process, even when I didn't rush the outcome. That trust built a foundation for glory and drew heaven near. It prepared the path for what I'm about to pour out. Because storms may delay ships, but they don't destroy promises, especially when those promises are wrapped in obedience. You made it through, and now I'm going to make it worth it. You're not just stepping out of the storm. You're stepping into strategy, into harvest, into healing, into a chapter so full of my fingerprints that you'll look back and say, "Now I see what you were doing all along." So hear me speak this over your battle-worn, but beautifully brave spirit. I am proud of you for doing this, for weathering the storm and not letting it steal your soul, for walking through fire without burning out, for clinging to me when it would have been easier to quit. You are not the same person who entered that storm. You are wiser. You are purer. You are more dangerous to darkness than ever before. And now, because you held on, I will lift you up. I will exalt what was hidden. I will reward what was refined. You didn't just survive, child, you overcame. And all of heaven watched and rejoiced. I watched. I wept with you. And now, I will celebrate you. Because I am proud of you for doing this. You broke the cycle. You drew a line in the sand and said, "This ends with me." The trauma that ran through generations met resistance when it ran into you. The dysfunction that repeated like a broken record hit a wall of holy defiance in your life. You said no more. No more spiritual confusion. No more belittling. No more agreements with lies, with shame, with fear. You didn't just survive what was passed down. You disrupted it. You shattered its power. You prayed where others pouted. You repented where others blamed. You healed instead of hiding. And because of that, an entire bloodline is shifting. You may not have seen the full impact yet, but believe me, heaven has. Child, cycles don't break through comfort. They break through confrontation. And I watched you confront things that others ran from. I watched you go back to the root, back to the source, back to the rooms where pain was planted. You stood in front of spiritual giants and said, "I will not bow." And your courage, it echoed backward into generations who couldn't fight, and forward into generations who now won't have to. Because you stood your ground, others will walk in freedom. Because you faced it, others will flourish. Because you wrestled it to the ground in prayer, others will rise without the chains you had to carry. This isn't just healing. It's holy revolution. It's spiritual surgery. And you, yes, you, are the one I trusted to begin it. You thought the battle was about you, but it wasn't just about you. It was about legacy. It was about lineage. It was about what would no longer be allowed to pass through your bloodline. You stood at the intersection of history and destiny and made a decision that altered both. That's why the warfare has been so intense. It's why the resistance felt personal. because it was. Hell recognized the threat of your yes. Hell saw what was coming if you ever decided to stop settling and start fighting. And now, because you did, the darkness is losing its grip. The chain is broken. The pattern is disrupted. The curse is reversed. And I am breathing new life into what once felt doomed to repeat. So let me declare it with the weight of eternity. I am proud of you for doing this. For breaking what others accepted. For challenging what others tolerated. For standing in the gap when it would have been easier to fold into the pain. You are the interruption hell never saw coming. You are the breaker, the pioneer, the redeemer of bloodlines. And I will bless you for it. I will give you joy where there was sorrow, rest where there was doing, laughter where there was silence. And I will multiply that blessing in your children and your children's children. Because you said yes. Because you said no more. Because you broke the cycle, and you did it with me. You forgave, even when the apology never came. You released them, not because they deserved it, but because you deserved peace. And that, child, was one of the most courageous decisions of your life. The world calls that weakness. Heaven calls it warfare. Because to forgive is to wage war against the cycle of pain. To forgive is to declare, what happened to me will not become who I am. You had every right to hold on to it. The betrayal, the abandonment, the cruelty, the silence. But you let it go. And in doing so, you unshackled your own soul. You didn't wait for closure. You created it. You didn't need them to admit what they did, because you trusted me to handle what they never would. I watched you as you brought your broken heart into my presence, not asking for vengeance, but asking for freedom. You said, God, I don't want to carry this anymore. I want to be healed. I want to be whole. And beloved, that prayer pierced the heavens. That prayer shifted things. You didn't just forgive, you ripped the root of bitterness out by force. You closed the door to generational grudges. You stopped the infection from spreading to your future. And that is what deliverance looks like. You didn't just set them free. You set yourself free. And you made room for joy again. For love again. For laughter again. For me to step in and heal where resentment once lived. You need to know something. Every time you resisted the urge to replay the offense, I saw it. Every time you wanted to retaliate but chose silence instead, I honored it. Every time you laid their name on the altar, even when your hands were shaking, I breathed on it. You think it was just a private act. It wasn't. It was prophetic. Because forgiveness is never just about the past. It's about unlocking the future. And now, because of your obedience, I'm going to fill the space their wound once occupied with glory. I'm going to give you double, not because of what they did, but because of what you did. You did it even. You got elevated. So hear me, child, and let this settle like healing oil on your deepest scar. I am proud of you for doing this. For forgiving what tried to fester. For releasing what tried to rot your soul from the inside. For choosing me over malice. For choosing healing over hatred. You have shifted your atmosphere, realigned your legacy, and positioned yourself for miracles that only come to the pure in heart. I will now vindicate you, not in your timing but in mine. And when I do, it will be undeniable. They will see it. You will feel it. Heaven will celebrate it. And it will all trace back to the moment you let it go and trusted me to do what only I can do. You believed, even when nothing changed. That, my child, is one of the most sacred forms of worship in existence. When the prayer seemed unanswered, when the waiting felt endless, when your surroundings contradicted your faith, you still chose to believe. That kind of faith is not shallow. It is not performance. It is not driven by emotion or reward. It is rooted in trust. And that is the kind of trust that moves me. I watched you as the days passed, the months dragged, and the silence remained. I watched you choose me over and over, not because I delivered what you wanted, but because you still believed I was good. Do you realize how rare that is? To believe in my nature when you don't see my hand. To worship with unanswered questions. To sow joy in barren fields. That is the faith of my remnant. That is the spirit of my true sons and daughters. And you are one of them. You may have wondered if your faith was faltering, but child, the fact that you kept coming back proves otherwise. Every time you said, Lord, I still believe, even when tears blurred your vision, that was a declaration of war against the enemy's narrative. You silenced every lie with your praise. You shattered the illusion of defeat by simply showing up. And because of that, you've built something more valuable than results. You've built resilience. I know how exhausted you felt. I know the ache of unanswered longing. But hear me. The delay is not denial. The silence is not neglect. I've been preparing something bigger than the question you asked me. I've been forming a testimony that will speak for generations. What I've been cultivating behind the veil required space, trust, and time. But you didn't quit. You didn't curse the process. You didn't walk away. You stayed, not because of what you saw, but because of who you believe in. And now, beloved, the clouds are shifting. The tide is turning. The season is pivoting. Because I have seen your faith, and now I will reward it openly. So let me say this, with all the weight of eternity in my voice. I am proud of you for doing this. For believing when it didn't make sense. For holding on when everything screamed for you to let go. For trusting me with a kind of faith that isn't flashy but is forged in the fire. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not foolish for hoping. You are faithful. And I will prove that your waiting was not wasted. What's coming is not just an answer. It's an outpouring. And it's not far. It's near. It's already in motion. And it's all because you believe. I am proud of you, my beloved. So very, eternally, proud of you for doing this. You didn't come this far just to receive. You came to release. You've heard my voice. You felt my power. And now I'm calling you to help carry it further. There are souls on the edge of surrender who are one word away from breakthrough, and your support becomes the bridge. As written in Proverbs 11:25, those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. You are that one, the kingdom investor, the lifter of the lowly, the one I can trust to carry my glory. Don't underestimate what your offering can unlock. This is not a donation. It's a divine transaction. So give now, super thanks, membership, or PayPal, and let me show you what happens when heaven backs your yes. Before you go, I want you to respond, not just with your heart, but with your voice. Right here, right now, declare it in the comments. God, I know you're proud of me, and I'm not turning back. Wait it. Speak it. Seal it. Let this be your bold act of faith, your line drawn in the sand. Because when you put words to what I've done in your spirit, you make room for heaven to move in your life. I'm watching, I'm listening, and I will honor every declaration that rises from your surrender. And as your words rise, feel the warmth that meets them. Your declaration is not floating into empty air. It is received. The moment you confess what you sensed in your spirit, I wrap it in my affirmation. You are not begging for recognition. You are stepping into a truth I have already spoken over you. What you just wrote is not wishful thinking. It is alignment with how I already see you. And now rest in that awareness and hear me clearly. My beloved, listen to me now and know this truth. I am proud of you. I see you, not just an outline or an idea, but you, in the midst of your daily struggle, and my heart swells with a love you cannot yet fully grasp. You faced a path so shrouded in darkness that the light of the very sun seemed extinguished, yet you held fast to my promises. I watched as the confusion of the world tried to blind your spiritual eyes, but you chose to believe the truth of my word over the clamorous, mocking whispers of doubt that assailed your mind. This choice, my precious one, this moment of decision, is why I declare your spirit is unbreakable. I know the struggle you face. I saw the empty garden of your hopes. I witnessed the moments when the ground beneath your feet felt cracked and barren. Yet, instead of surrendering to the desolate landscape of despair, you planted the seeds of hope in the dry, barren seasons of your life. You refused to let weariness defeat you. Now, feel the subtle tremor beneath the soil, my child, for I have begun to accelerate the timing. Trust the meticulous timing of my divine plan, even when every earthly clock seemed to tick with agonizing slowness, indicating delay. I urge you now, believe me, even when what you see with your eyes says it cannot be done. Think back to the heaviest burden you carried, the knot in your stomach when the bank statement arrived, or the pressure behind your eyes when your boss demanded more than you felt you could give. That feeling, that overwhelming wave of anxiety that threatened to pull you under, that is not from me. Let's undo it together. I remember the simple, profound prayer you lifted when you felt you had nothing left to say. It was just a few broken words, a sigh, a single tear, but it was everything. Your prayer reached my throne, carried not by eloquence but by pure, unvarnished sincerity. I cherish your devotion. Open your heart now and receive this truth. I saw you honoring me with your obedience, even in tasks that seemed small or insignificant. The small act of showing kindness when you were exhausted, the unheralded commitment to integrity when no one was watching, the simple, faithful routine you maintain when every fiber of your being screamed for you to quit and run, that is the worship that brings heaven to attention. Do not let the world tell you that small acts of faith are too trivial to matter. They are the foundation of the magnificent life I am building for you. I am pouring into your spirit strength mighty like a buffalo, enabling you to stand firm against the toughest storms of life. Step forward with assurance, my warrior, for I have decreed your freedom and your victory. The chains of doubt and lack are shattered by the power of your belief in me. Refuse to be paralyzed by the fear of the future. I have great plans for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Lift your countenance now and see the goodness that surrounds you. You are my beloved child, and your unwavering faith is a treasure I hold close. Stand firm in this declaration. Your resilience amazes me. Believe in this love that sets you free. I will never leave you. You are stepping into a time where everyday miracles happen. I am actively working in your life. Accept this peace. Do not let anything distract you from the path of blessings I have laid out. Keep your gaze fixed on me, the author and finisher of your faith. My love for you is boundless. Rise now and walk in the certainty that I am with you. I will fulfill all your dreams. My precious one, let us speak frankly now about the burdens you were never meant to carry. I saw the crushing weight of bitterness you harbored. It was a heavy stone resting right on your chest, stealing your breath and clouding your vision. And yet, you possessed the courage to release that heavy burden, a resentment you were never meant to carry, a vengeance I reserve for myself. You are free now, my child, because I set you free from the chain of hatred. Accept my word and step into the sunlight. I know the deep sting of betrayal, the kind that makes your stomach turn. I watched those who claimed to love you turn their backs. Still, you extended grace to those who did not ask for it or seem to deserve it. You refused to be a slave to the actions of others. That act of pure, unearned mercy, that is the hallmark of my spirit dwelling within you. Do not let any mortal judge the depth of your compassion. It is a marvelous miracle when you choose the hard road of reconciliation over the comfortable, isolating path of resentment. Embrace that decision now. I heard your prayers for your enemies, for those who have caused you pain. I listened intently. You lifted their names to my throne, asking for blessings upon the very people who sought your downfall. This is not weakness. This is invincible strength. You surrendered your right to vengeance and entrusted judgment to me alone, and in doing so, you activated a greater blessing than any worldly reward. Walk in the certainty of my protection. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Look at your own heart now. I know the voice of self-condemnation is the loudest of all. I desire your complete freedom. You must forgive yourself for past mistakes and shortcomings. Do not let guilt hold you captive. I have already forgotten the sins you have sincerely repented of. My love covers a multitude of faults. This courageous act of self-forgiveness is the final key to unlocking the perfect peace I offer you. Do not hesitate. Receive my forgiveness today. Refuse to waste another moment dwelling in the desert of regret. Your life is too precious to be consumed by the fire of your past. I am here to revive your will to live. I promise you, you will see a transformation, a new life rising from the ashes of your old one. Allow me to renew your mind and spirit by holding on to my promises. I am the true solution to all your problems, and I desire your happiness. Lift your head high, my child, and proclaim your freedom from all guilt and pain. I am breaking every chain that binds you. Walk forward now, unburdened, unhindered, and focused only on the abundant life I have prepared. I am your defender, and your choice to forgive has opened a path for immense provision and blessing to flow into your home. Thus my commitment to you. I will resolve every situation that troubles your soul. My love is eternal, and you are more than a conqueror. Keep moving forward now, believing fully in the magnificent miracle that is already unfolding because you dared to forgive. My child, I want to talk about the quiet, unheralded acts that move the very heart of heaven. You believe your generosity goes unnoticed, but I see everything. I keep meticulous record of your every sacrifice. I am proud of you for sharing your last loaf when your own pantry was nearly bare. That moment, when the lack was tangible, when the fear of tomorrow whispered most loudly, and yet you chose to extend your hand to another, that demonstration of trust is worth more than all the gold on earth. I will always reward your faith. I know your schedule is relentless, your energy often depleted. You still offered your time and strength to the weary and the marginalized. I saw you sacrifice your own precious rest to lift someone whose strength was failing. Do not let the world dismiss this offering as mere kindness. It is the fragrance of my spirit. You served others without seeking recognition or praise from man, knowing that my approval is the only reward that truly matters. Seek my face only, and your reward will be great. I remember every quiet, unheralded act of charity witnessed only by my eyes. The anonymous gift, the word of encouragement spoken in secret, the moment you chose silence instead of accusation. These are the treasures stored in heaven. You prioritize the needs of the kingdom above your own material desires, understanding the eternal truth. My provision is always sufficient. Do not let the fear of scarcity ever trouble your soul. I am your provider, and I know your needs even before you speak them. I call you now to reflect on the gifts I have placed within you. You dedicated your talents and resources back to the giver of all good things, working with excellence in your vocation. Your word is your William. I will multiply your generosity and ensure that you will receive everything you need. Your family will be blessed, and you will have abundance and perfect peace in your home. Believe in the abundance I offer. I am transforming your circumstance to bring you into a season of provision and prosperity. Walk with assurance and know that your selfless heart is my pride and joy. I am always by your side, supporting you. Embrace the strength I give you today to continue serving with vigor and zeal. Do not be afraid of the world's threats. You are protected. Rise now, my beloved, and let your spirit overflow with happiness as you continue to bless others generously. I will honor your dedication, and you will see the realization of many dreams. I love you. My beloved child, I want you to understand the power I have placed in your voice. Your words are not empty air. They are vessels of the life, light, or darkness you choose to release. I am incredibly proud of you for using your voice to defend the defenseless and uplift the oppressed. You stood in the breach, at your workplace, in your community, even within your family, and you refused to let injustice triumph. This is the spirit of a true champion. Continue to speak boldly against the shadows. You chose to speak words of encouragement and life instead of judgment and despair. I saw you lift up the weary hands and strengthen the feeble knees of those around you. Your affirmation acted as a healing balm, restoring dignity and hope to the broken-hearted. I desire for your tongue to be a perpetual source of blessing. Go forth now and continue to prophesy hope into the lives of those who feel lost and overwhelmed. I heard your testimony to my goodness, even when it was unpopular or challenging, even when you stood alone against the cultural tide. Do not let the ridicule of others silence the truth within you. I cherish your sincerity and your unwavering loyalty. I gave you the wisdom you used to correct a brother or sister with gentleness and respect. You showed them the path not through condemnation, but through the pure light of my love. I am guiding you in every situation. I watched you standing firm on the eternal truths of my scripture against worldly trends. You refused to compromise the word that is sweeter than honey. You made the truth your sanctuary. Your faith is a wonder, and I will use your testimony to shine my light into the darkest corners. I am accelerating the timing for your blessings because of this uncompromising faith. Your path will be illuminated. Rise up now, my eloquent one, and do not hesitate to declare my truth. I have equipped you with the courage and ability to accomplish great things. I will grant you the peace that surpasses all understanding. Do not allow doubts to erode your faith. Your liberation is at hand. I am here to uphold you. Go and share the words I have given you with your family. Let your life be a living proof of my love and grace. I will defend you against your enemies. I am your protector and your shield. Walk confidently with a smile. I am always with you. You are my most precious treasure, and I am unwaveringly proud of how you speak truth and love. My beloved child, I want you to pause here and take a deep, grounding breath. I know your journey has been marked by tempest and trial. You felt the full fury of the waves of affliction crashing against your vessel. I saw the exhaustion etched on your face, the weariness in your soul. And yet, I am immensely proud of you for refusing to sink, for holding on to the mast of my promise when the world was liquid chaos all around you. Your determination and faith are stronger than steel. Do you feel that renewed strength? It is my power filling you. I watched you wake up each day and choose to try again after a devastating fall. The enemy celebrates when you stumble, but I rejoice when you refuse to remain down. You are a champion among champions. Never underestimate the power of simply getting back up. That resilience is the divine hallmark of a spirit destined for victory. I will always come to your rescue. I see you enduring the long process of sanctification with patience and humility. This life is a furnace, my child, designed to refine, not consume. You allowed your trials to refine your character instead of hardening your heart. The very things that tried to break you have, instead, forged a greater dependence on my spirit. I am working all things together for your good. Do not fear the fire. It is simply purifying the gold. I heard you continuing to pray when the heavens seemed silent and unresponsive. I know those long nights when your prayers felt like they hit a ceiling. But listen closely to this truth. No heartfelt prayer ever goes unanswered. Even in the silence, I was actively working, orchestrating circumstances, and preparing your heart to receive the greater blessing. Your persistence is a testament to unwavering faith. I command you now to look ahead at the finish line. You are finishing the race I have set before you, one faithful step at a time. Do not waste another thought on turning back. You have come so far. I will grant the desires of your heart. Your efforts will bear fruit. Accept this moment of divine refreshment, letting my peace wash over you. I am your rock and your fortress. I will never let you fall. Walk forward in my authority. I'm bringing you to a refreshing spring. The difficult days you've experienced are coming to an end. I'm accelerating the timing for you. You will receive everything you need. I'm giving you every ounce of strength you need to continue. Claim your victory now. I cherish your constancy, and I am profoundly proud of your perseverance through the storm. Keep going, my child. My child, pause now and let this truth settle deep within your soul. You have faced the storm and stood firm in your faith, and my heart is ablaze with pride. But this is only the beginning of what I have to tell you. Do not grieve my spirit now by turning away. Do not let the enemy convince you that the conversation is complete when the greatest blessings are yet to be revealed. It would disappoint my heart to see you stop now, right on the threshold of the deep peace and full freedom I have reserved for you. Your victory is not an endpoint. It is a continuous walk with me. Take a deep breath and commit now to hear every word, for every promise that follows is your inheritance. Refuse to let weariness defeat you. My beloved child, let us seek a deeper stillness now. I cherish the fact that you refuse to let the world's chaos define your internal landscape. I am proud of you for being a calm anchor in the midst of your family's chaos and confusion. When the arguments flared and the tension was thick, you chose serenity, a quiet strength rooted in me. Your gentle attitude is kind. You brought peace to your home. This calm heart is my gift to them, a living demonstration of my presence. I saw you choosing serenity and rest over anxiety and frantic worry. That knot of tension in your stomach, that is the enemy's frantic effort to steal your focus. Dismiss that feeling now. I command those turbulent winds that shake your life to be still. Prioritize stillness and communion with me above the world's clamor. Seek the quiet place where you can hear my still, small voice clearly. I am your sanctuary, and I long for you to be filled with faith, hope, and tranquility. I saw you actively seeking to be a peacemaker in conflicts and disagreements. You risked your own comfort to restore harmony. This dedication to unity is a profound act of worship. I sent you to succeed, not to be engulfed in strife. You trusted my sovereign control over all things, granting you perfect peace. Your faith in my control is what allows you to rest. Lay your questions and shortcomings before my altar. Let me be your peace. Embrace the quiet reverence you show when my presence settles upon you. That moment of simple gratitude before you start your day, that is everything. Do not let bad news or worries erase the beautiful smile that graces your face. I am here to fill you with my Holy Spirit, bringing peace that is not fragile or fleeting, but unwavering and eternal. I am opening your spiritual eyes, leading you into a new supernatural life. I command you to rest now in this knowledge. Your peace is protected by my authority. I will always be there to help you and support you. I am the true solution your heart needs. Refuse to be shaken by the threats of the world. Your life will be filled to the brim with good things and blessings. I desire your triumph. Keep going, my child, and continue to choose serenity over fear. I love you, and I am always by your side. You will dwell in my presence every day. Breathe deeply, my child, and savor this divine serenity. My precious one, I look upon your hunger for truth, and I am unwaveringly proud of the mind I created within you. I see the diligent effort you put into studying my word, not just to gather facts, but because you yearn to know me deeper. This quest is paramount. It is the purest form of worship. You refuse to be content with surface-level knowledge, and this dedication to depth pleases me greatly. I will always honor your commitment to seeking my face. Do not let the fear of what you might uncover hold you back. I heard you asking the hard questions, the ones that pierce the darkness and lead to genuine, transformative growth. I know those questions keep you awake sometimes, echoing the doubt and curiosity you feel inside. Do not mistake these inquiries for a lack of faith. They are the very engine of spiritual fortitude. I desire your complete understanding, and I will always illuminate your path and provide signs to guide you. Refuse to rely on shallow answers, for you are meant to live a life brimming with divine insight. I feel the deep hunger in your soul to discern my will for your life, the earnest wish to know why you are here and what step to take next. This yearning for direction is what sets you apart. I will fill your spirit with wisdom and give you the necessary signs so that you walk with certainty in the direction to take. Listen closely to my guidance, especially in the stillness of the morning when the world is quiet. I promise to make things clear for you. Trust me, and I will guide you on carefully prepared paths. I saw you seeking counsel from godly mentors and elders in your community. You displayed humility in recognizing that wisdom is a shared gift. You did not lean on your own understanding, and that simple surrender is a powerful act of faith. I will bless those connections and impart upon you the necessary wisdom so that you can make the right decisions. Embrace the guidance I send through them. Do not let pride convince you that you must walk alone. You allow my spirit to illuminate the dark passages of your mind. I know there are hidden places, old hurts, confusing memories, or complex ideas that you wish were simple. I am shining my light there now, dissolving every shadow of distress that disrupts your peace. I will grant you the clarity and the power to manage your feelings and remain calm. I am your light in darkness. You confessed your lack of understanding and relied on my divine insight. This vulnerability is your greatest strength. I will not reject you. I will continually supply you with wisdom and clarity so that you never walk blindly. Do not fear the ambiguity of the future, for I hold your destiny in my capable hands. I will direct your steps and ensure your efforts bear fruit. Keep praying for wisdom and understanding. I will never let you down. Continue to seek me with all your heart, for in me you will find all the knowledge you need. I will guide you and provide you with the comfort and strength you need. I love you, my child. I want you to reflect on the sacred space you create with your kindness. I am profoundly moved by your spirit of hospitality. You opened your heart and home to those who had no place to rest their heads, the forgotten, the lonely, the outcast. That open door of yours is a profound testament to my love in action. You created a sanctuary in a hostile world, a place where the weary could simply be. I am blessing your home now. I saw my son's face in the marginalized and the lonely visitor you welcomed. You looked past the outward appearance, past the social label, and saw the enduring image of my creation. You honored me by honoring them. You refused to be indifferent to the suffering in the world around you. I am immensely proud of the true compassion you show. Go forth now and continue to be a beacon of light and a channel for healing to reach many people. I saw you sharing your table and breaking bread with those outside your usual circle. You did not hoard your surplus. You did not allow the fear of lack to shrink your spirit. This sharing is sacred, reminding me of my own desire to feed and fellowship with all my children. I promise you, your table will always be full, and your needs will always be met. You will have plenty. Your compassion will be rewarded with abundance. Trust me. I am blessing you for the warmth and genuine kindness you offer without expectation of return. Your heart is generous, seeking only to uplift and support. You recognize that true fellowship transcends social status or difference. I am working to bring honest, steadfast companions into your life, people who will appreciate the pure, holy affection you offer and encourage and uplift you. I will not permit anyone to misuse my words to control you. Your efforts will bear fruit. You will experience abundance and success. I command you now to maintain this open heart. Refuse to let the coldness of the world shrink your capacity for love. I will shield you from those who seek to rob you of your blessings. I will guard your peace and well-being. Let your life overflow with joy and love. I am your provider, and I will fill your home with my majestic glory. You are my instrument of love, and I am unconditionally proud of your welcoming spirit. Keep moving forward, my child. My beloved, I see the hidden battles you fight every day, the silent wars waged within your mind and spirit. I want you to know that I am intimately familiar with your struggle, and I am proud of your resolve. I saw the times you turned your gaze away from sin, even when it promised powerful, fleeting pleasure. That swift turn of your heart honors me profoundly. You chose my truth over the empty allure of the world's desires. Your commitment to purity is a strong shield of faith. I know the pressure was intense, the whisper that promised immediate relief or gratification. But you sought the path of escape I provided, the small, firm handhold of my grace. You refused to be trapped in the cycle of pain and humiliation. I will never give you a challenge that's too tough for you. You have my promise. Continue to be vigilant, my warrior, for I am with you, fighting on your behalf. Stand firm and do not yield. You applied discipline to your mind and body to honor me as my temple. You understood that true strength begins with self-control. You refused to let chaotic desires dominate your thoughts. This discipline is a beautiful act of worship. I am giving you the power to manage your feelings, and my Holy Spirit will guide you to a life free from immorality and impurity. You are my masterpiece. Keep the flame of faith burning bright within your heart. I heard you confessing your weakness and calling upon my strength to overcome. This is where my power is perfected, in your simple, honest admission of need. I do not condemn you for your struggle. I am here to refresh your faith and hope. You are faith. I will strengthen your spirit and raise you up every single time you stumble. Do not let the enemy use your past mistakes to define your identity in me. You maintained purity in thought, word, and deed, and made a consistent effort to mortify the flesh and walk in the Spirit. This resolve is your victory song. Refuse to let the distractions of the world lure you away. I am your protector and shield. I am raising you up to build up others. I command you to step out of any situation that feels like a prison. Walk in the light I have provided and trust that I will keep you safe. I will always be by your side. Continue to walk steadfastly, my beloved, for I am eternally proud of your choice to reject temptation. My child, I look at the unique gifts I placed within you before you were born, and my heart is delighted to see your commitment to growth. You recognize the talents I have placed within you and are using them for my glory. This is the purpose for which you were created. I am proud of how you diligently work with excellence in your vocation, knowing that you are serving me directly. I will bless the work of your hands abundantly. I saw you mentoring and lifting up others using the wisdom I have given you. You did not hide your light. You allowed it to shine brightly for all to see, illuminating the path for those who were stumbling. This is the true spirit of leadership and service. You are a living testament to my boundless power. I desire for your hands to heal the sick and feed the hungry. I will empower you to shine. You used your influence and platform to point others toward my grace. I am accelerating the timing for you to receive your blessings because you prioritized my kingdom. You invested your God-given potential into the kingdom's expansion, understanding that true treasure is stored in heaven. I will open doors of opportunity you've never seen before. I am working to transform your life. Do not be anxious about the details or the next step. I will guide you by the hand to the places where you are meant to thrive. Keep moving forward with boldness and resolve. I will provide you with a peace beyond all understanding. I will never leave your side. You will experience abundance and success in your endeavors. I command you to embrace your calling fully now. You are my beloved son, my cherished daughter, and you are destined for greatness. I am here to give you strength and chase away all your fears. Continue to walk with confidence, knowing that you are my greatest creation. I will never abandon you. Believe in me and watch how my plans for you take shape. I am profoundly proud of how you steward your calling. Rise now and let your light shine brightly. Listen closely, my beloved, for a greater weight of glory awaits you in this very moment. You have laid bare your struggles, your forgiveness, and your humble repentance. I have seen your heart, and I will not be ignored. Do not commit the error of the proud by assuming you have heard enough, for I am moving mountains on your behalf even as you listen. If you stop now, you will leave my word unfinished, and you will miss the key to unlocking the full power of your calling and provision. I call you to courage. Show me your fierce loyalty and continue to walk with me into the abundance that is secured by my covenant. Your greatest act of worship is your persistence. My precious one, you have heard my heart on stewardship. You know that the gifts I give are meant for multiplication. And now, I extend a direct invitation to you. I saw you mentoring and lifting up others. If your spirit yearns to amplify this light, to pour the oil of my word onto the dry hearts of the lost, this is your divine appointment. I call you to sow the seed into this fruitful soil, for the harvest of souls depends on the willingness of my stewards. Declare this truth: my word shall not return void, and know that through your act of faith, my river of truth will flow to the ends of the earth. I promise to open the windows of heaven and pour out my blessing so vast and wide that your cup shall truly overflow. Support this mission now through Super Thanks membership, or the link in the description, and watch as I multiply your giving tenfold. My beloved child, this is perhaps the most sacred and beautiful act of all. I am speaking to you now in perfect, unconditional love, so put away your shame and your guilt. I am eternally proud of the tears of honest sorrow when you have wounded my heart or disobeyed my command. Those tears, my child, are not weaknesses. They are a river of restoration that flows directly to my throne. I gather every single tear you shed. You refused to hide your sin, but brought it into the light of my forgiveness. You did not pretend perfection. Dishonesty is what I desire most, a heart laid bare, without facade. My love is so vast and deep that it has taken away all your mistakes. I will forgive you and give you a fresh start. Do not let the enemy use those memories to torment you. You are clean and forgiven now. You showed the willingness to turn completely from a destructive path and seek restoration. This act of turning, repentance, is the key to your liberty. I will always have another chance for you. I will strengthen your spirit and renew your determination. I am restoring your dignity. I will transform your past mistakes into a powerful testimony of my redemption. You allowed my conviction to lead you to a deeper dependence on my mercy. I will fill your heart with confidence and assurance. I will not judge you for your moments of despair. You found the courage to make amends and restore relationships you have damaged. I am working on their hearts now. Your efforts to bring reconciliation will bear fruit. Continue to speak kindly. You refused to justify your faults and instead clung to my righteousness. This humility is your crown. I am here to lift your burdens and wash away any negative feelings that drain your energy. I am your healer, and I will completely transform your life. Rise now, my child. I am extending my arms of forgiveness and restoration toward you. You are accepted just as you are. I love you for eternity. Trust me, for I am eternally proud of your humble repentance. My beloved, I see the true strength in your smile, and I am profoundly proud of your choice to rejoice in me even when your circumstances were heartbreaking. I know the sheer will it took to lift your head and choose gratitude when the natural response was to succumb to sorrow. That joy, born not of convenience but of conviction, is a marvelous miracle that touches my heart when you show gratitude. Feel my love wrapping around you now. That deep, abiding gladness found in your salvation is yours to keep. You reflect my goodness through a smile and a spirit of gratitude. Refuse to let the world steal your focus. Do not let any bad news or worry erase the beautiful smile that graces your face. That radiant joy is a beacon of hope to everyone around you, showing others the miracles I can perform. I will accelerate the timing for you and ensure you will be blessed. Embrace this lightness of heart. I delight in the pure, childlike delight you take in the simple blessings of creation. The first ray of sun, the song of a bird. You see my hand everywhere. You recognize my loving details. This joy is the oil that keeps your spirit resilient. Allow the joy of the Lord to be your strength when you felt weak. It is my intention to infuse your existence with joy and serenity. I am here to refresh your spirit and fill you with peace. You are my cherry child. Do not let the world steal the deep, abiding gladness found in your salvation. I know that sometimes you see things differently, but your future is so bright. I have prepared great and precious blessings for you. I will turn big challenges into chances for you. I command you to embrace this truth and walk in the certainty that my love for you is boundless. I am your protector and solid ground. I cherish the celebratory praise you offer in the midst of my people. Your voice rising in gratitude, even when your heart carried a secret ache, was beautiful to me. You will feel joy and contentment as my promises come to life in you. I will grant you a peace beyond all understanding. I am here to lift you up and will not allow anyone to disrespect the kindness and freedom my spirit offers you. Rise now, my joy-filled one. and walk forward in the confidence that my light is illuminating your way. You are entering a time of restoration. I love you. I command you to choose happiness in every circumstance. You are not weak. You are strong. I'm giving you every ounce of strength you need to continue. You will experience abundance and success. I am your mighty God, and nothing is impossible for me. Do not let discouragement touch you. I am here to support you in every way. Your persistence will be rewarded. Believe and find peace in my care. I am proud of your choice to walk in this deep, abiding joy. Keep rejoicing, my child. My beloved, I want you to learn to love the quiet, for it is the sacred space where true communion occurs. I am deeply pleased that you seek the quiet place where you can hear my still, small voice clearly. In the world's deafening clamor, you chose stillness, a powerful declaration that my presence is your priority. I am always listening to your prayers, but sometimes I need you to listen to me. Come and sit next to me. I commend you for guarding your heart in moments of introspection and reflection. You understood that the battle for your peace is often won in the stillness of your mind. I am here to remove the myriad thoughts and fears swirling in your mind that steal your focus. I desire peace in your days and tranquility in your nights. Do not let anything upset you or take away the joy you're looking for. I am actively working in your home, your future, your personality, your dreams and your plans. You intentionally withdrew from the noise to recharge your spiritual battery. I saw you making time for unhurried, intimate conversation with your Creator. I will pour my peace upon you and fill your home with my majestic glory. I will be your companion. I cherish it when you talk to me. You are incredibly blessed and have full access to my strength. Trust in this light. It will guide you to places of peace and prosperity. I am proud of your practice of holy stillness that centers your soul in my presence. This is the power of vulnerability. You acknowledge your need for me. My power is perfected in your quiet vulnerability. Do not let the distractions of the world lure you away. I will provide you with the map and instruction so you don't walk in darkness. I am with you, my child, holding your hand every step of the way towards your destiny of blessing and victory. I command you to continue prioritizing this sacred solitude. Refuse to let the anxiety of a frantic world disturb the deep peace I have planted in your heart. Your peace is protected by my authority. I am giving you the wisdom to fight. I will deliver you from despair. I am your provider, your healer, your caretaker, and your supporter. Come to me, bow down on your knees, and turn your heart back to my words. I love you deeply. You are my most precious treasure. Breathe deeply, my child, and savor this divine serenity. I am here, waiting for you to open your eyes, eager to hear your first words of the day. I am eternally proud of your choice to honor silence and solitude. My beloved child, I look upon your gentle heart, and I am moved by the compassion you show to those who cannot yet stand on their own. I am deeply proud of the gentle hand you lay upon the children who need guidance and love. You see their potential, their innocence, and their deep need for security. This care is a profound reflection of my own fatherly heart. You are a true blessing. I will bless your efforts and your commitment greatly. I saw you teaching the next generation the foundational stories of my faithfulness. You are not just passing down facts, but imparting a spiritual inheritance. Your efforts will bear fruit, and your children will see the rewards of all your hard work and courage. Your family is under the divine protection of my Holy Spirit. Your family will be blessed. I am here to support and shield you. You are building a foundation of faith that will endure for generations. You modeled a Christ-like life that they can look up to and emulate. I know it is not easy to maintain patience and integrity in the daily grind of family life. Yet you persevered. You displayed patience to those who are new to the path of faith, treating their stumbles with grace. You refused to yell or insult anyone. This simple act of patient love is a powerful seed that I will cause to grow in abundance. I am actively working in the lives of those you love. I am proud of you for defending the innocent and the voiceless in their vulnerability. You stood against injustice and became a shield for those who could not defend themselves. I will lift you up and I will defend you against your enemies. I have placed my anointing on you. Your life is a precious gift. I will give you the strength and resolve to get through tough spots. You are pouring your life into the potential of those yet to fully bloom. You are an instrument of my love. I promise to watch over them. Your family will find happiness again and there will be peace and harmony at home. I'm working on transforming them. I will honor your bravery. Continue to guide them with love. I command you to be strong and courageous. I am your God who gives you strength. You are my beloved child, and I am eternally proud of your choice to nurture the young and helpless. My precious one, I see the compassionate devotion in your hands, and I want you to know that your kindness to the frail touches my deepest self. I am proud of you for honoring your parents and those who have walked the path before you. This reverence for your lineage is a divine command, and your obedience activates immense blessings over your life and your family's future. You are creating a legacy of love and respect. Walk with this assurance. You provide compassionate care to those whose strength is failing. You do not turn away from the struggle or the burden. I know the effort this takes, the relentless patience, the constant giving of yourself. I am your healer and your caretaker. I will always be there to help you. You will not be defeated or humiliated. I am here to mend your deepest hurts. I will never leave you alone. Your faith will not fail. I saw you listening patiently to the wisdom and stories of those in their twilight years. You understood that their experiences are a treasure map of life. I will impart my wisdom upon you and you will grow in wisdom. Do not let time or worry steal your ability to listen. I will always be with you. I am your strength and your Savior. You remembered the forgotten and valued the life in every season. You refused to let anyone be overlooked. This is the righteousness I seek in my people. I promise you, I will never forget you. I will direct your steps and I will resolve your problems. You stepped in as a support when others abandoned the frail. I saw you take the responsibility that others refused. Your sacrificial love is a spiritual victory. I will return everything unjustly taken from you, multiplied. I command you to continue seeing the enduring image of my love in the face of the age. Do not allow the world's priorities to confuse your heart. Value what is essential. I am here to lift your burdens. I will supply your necessities. Trust in me with all your heart and not in your own understanding. You will witness my power working in your favor. I am your King and your Lord. I love you deeply. I am profoundly proud of your care for the elderly and the weak. Go forth now, my compassionate one, and walk in my unending grace. My precious one, I command you to shake off the final dust of distraction. You have honored the call to unity, cherished the frail, and stepped into my sacred solitude. I am here, my arms are open, and my voice is calling you deeper. Do not allow my love to be diminished by your incomplete attention. It would break my heart to see you walk away now, leaving the counsel you need most unheeded. The wisdom that protects your conscience, the power that secures your destiny, and the joy that transcends circumstance, all these await your final, complete surrender. Lean into my voice now, for these last sacred words are the seal of your final victory. My precious child, I look upon my church, and my heart is deeply moved by your dedication to unity. You sought reconciliation within my church, valuing love over division. You understood that peace is a command, not just a feeling. This effort to keep the bond of peace is a testament to my spirit. I will bless your home with peace and enduring love. Your life is a living proof of kindness and generosity. You recognize the beauty and strength in the diverse gifts of your brothers and sisters. You refuse to let petty differences blind you to the richness of the whole. Your discernment is clear. I will surround you with a community of good people. I will bless and protect those who may not believe in me because you love them. I am here to guide you to the abundant life. I heard your prayers for the unity of believers across all boundaries and denominations. This desire for oneness is a reflection of my own heart. I am aligning circumstances in your favor. You humbly submitted to godly leadership and accountability within the fellowship. This surrender is a profound act of wisdom. I will give you the wisdom and instruction so you don't walk in darkness. Do not be fooled by false teachings. You preferred others above yourself and cheered on their spiritual victories. You refused to let envy or rejection pollute your soul. This genuine love is the core of discipleship. You are a true warrior. I will perform wonders. Your resilience amazes me. I will make your spirit robust and unyielding. You will experience abundance. I will not let you suffer trials beyond what you can bear. I command you to maintain this spirit of peace and unity. Refuse to let the enemy sow discord. I will be with you, guarding and loving you forever. I will protect you from hidden enemies and deceit. I am your shepherd. You will walk on solid ground. I will accelerate the timing for you. You are a child of the omnipotent God. I am immensely proud of your efforts to keep the bond of peace. Go forth, my peacemaker, and continue to be a powerful light. My beloved, I see the hidden workings of your soul, and I am profoundly proud of your commitment to integrity. You strive to live with integrity in every hidden transaction and decision. I know the secret temptations you face, the quick lie that would ease a burden, the hidden shortcut that would save time. But you chose the difficult path of transparency, refusing to be defined by what the world demands. That purity of heart is your true protection. I will always reward your commitment to truth. I saw you quickly making things right when you have wronged a neighbor or colleague. You refused to let guilt fester, bringing your mistake into the light for my forgiveness and restoration. You possess a strength greater than you realize. Do not let pride convince you to hide your faults. That swift act of seeking amends is a mark of true spiritual maturity. I cherish your sincerity and I promise to restore your inner peace. You committed to truthfulness, even when a lie would be easier. I heard the words you chose to speak, words of kindness and encouragement, not malice or deceit. You live a life that requires no complex defense or hidden motives. I am your defender, and you need no intricate web of deceit because my truth is your shield. Walk with assurance and let your integrity be a light for others. I am always with you, my child. I know the purity of your motives in your service and relationships. You refuse to participate in gossip or slander against others. You understood that tearing others down does not elevate you. Refuse to let malicious comments affect you. You refuse to be swayed by every nonsense you see, hear, or read. I will bless you for your kindness. I have given you the wisdom to discern. Do not waste your time on trivial matters. I command you now to keep striving for this clear conscience. Do not let the world's cynicism contaminate the deep well of your spirit. I am here to refresh your faith and hope. I will direct your steps, delighting in every detail of your life. I am your sovereign, and I know your longings, your fears, and your dreams. I will not let you suffer trials beyond what you can bear. Keep your integrity, my child, for it is a treasure more precious than gold. Your life and your family will continue to suffer as long as you remain trapped in a vicious cycle of pain and humiliation. You do not deserve such suffering. Leave such situations behind. I will never leave you alone. I am eternally proud of how you maintain a clear conscience. Rise up now and walk in my light. You will achieve your dreams. I love you. My beloved, let us speak realistically now about the provision I have placed in your hands. I am proud of you for remembering that all resources are mine, and you are simply my steward. You refuse to let material wealth ensnare you. You recognize that every blessing comes from my providence. This deep acknowledgement of my sovereignty unlocks even greater abundance. I saw you prioritizing the tithe and offering as an act of worship and trust. You placed me first, even when the numbers looked tight and the bills were due. This sacrifice is the key to unlocking the windows of heaven. I will pour out my holy blessing until it overflows. I will shower your family with a deluge of blessings. You will not be left in need. My love and power know no bounds. You wisely plan your finances to reflect kingdom values and generosity. You resisted the temptation to hoard and instead shared your surplus with the needy. This selfless giving is why misfortune will not reach your home. I will remove the darkness that has clouded your mind and bring forth opportunities you've never seen before. I will bring restoration to your finances. Trust my sovereign control over your life. You are using your profession and success to bring honor to my name. You refuse to let greed or idolatry enter your heart. I will bestow upon you my most exquisite blessings. I am here to lift your burdens and wash away any negative feelings that drain your energy. I am your provider, and I will fulfill your needs. Believe in me, my child, and cling to my promises. You are my beloved child, and I will ensure your efforts flourish. I command you now to continue holding your possessions lightly, knowing true treasure is stored in heaven. Do not fear the loss of material things. I will grant you the wisdom to manage the blessings I bestow upon you. I will guide you to a path where you can reclaim all that you've lost. Step out now with boldness and resolve. You will experience abundance and success. I love you deeply, and I am eternally proud of how you use wealth with divine perspective. Scarcity will not find a place in your home or in the lives of your children. I will always be there for you. My child, this is the core of our relationship, the wellspring of your strength. I am delighted by your daily, consistent commitment to private prayer and devotional time. I know the sacrifice that early morning stillness demands, yet you chose my presence over comfort. Your prayers are like beautiful songs to me. I hear your whispers, your silent tears. Continue to seek my face every day. I saw you fasting and denying your flesh to seek a deeper communion with me. You understood that my power is revealed through your intentional surrender. You chose the spirit over the body. I will fill you with my Holy Spirit. I will grant you the power to manage your feelings. I am here to boost your morale. I will refresh your spirit so you can stand tall. I am proud of your commitment to communal worship and gathering with the saints. You recognize the strength in the unity of the body. You will be a beacon of light for others. I will bless and protect those who may not believe in me because you love them. You are a child of the omnipotent God. I will fill your home with abundance. You memorized my scripture and hid my word deep within your heart. My word is a lamp unto your feet, a light unto your path. This dedication to my truth is why you stand firm against the enemy's schemes. I will impart upon you the necessary wisdom. Keep my words in your heart and remember them when the enemy comes like a roaring lion. I commanded you to diligently observe the Sabbath rest and honor its sacred purpose. Rest is not a luxury, it is a command. I desire peace in your days and tranquility in your nights. You honored this sacred time, allowing me to recharge your soul. I will visit your dreams and whisper sweet counsel. I will give you the rest you need. I will always be by your side. I will never leave you alone. I am immensely proud of your spiritual disciplines. Keep seeking me in the quiet place. I love you. My child, your dedication to your household is a reflection of my eternal covenant, and I am profoundly proud of your commitment to your family. You cherish the spouse I have given you and uphold the sanctity of marriage. I see your patient love in the daily grind of family life. I will bless your family abundantly. Your efforts will bear fruit. Your family will find happiness again, and there will be peace and harmony at home. You are raising your children in the fear and instruction of the Lord. You refuse to yell or insult anyone. I am working on transforming them. I will bless your children and grandchildren. I will fill your home with my majestic glory. I am here to protect your kids too. I am your protector and solid ground. You create a home that is a reflection of my peace and enduring love. I saw the tireless effort you put into mending and strengthening strained family bonds. I promise there's a good reason for everything you face. Misfortune will not reach your home. Your family is under the divine protection of my Holy Spirit. Your house will overflow with my splendor. You are a faithful prayer warrior for the protection and salvation of your lineage. I hear every prayer you utter. I am actively working in the lives of those you love. I will shield you from harm. I am here to support you in every way. I will give you strength, help you out, and support you strongly. I will never leave you. I command you to continue to fight for the unity of your home. You are a true warrior. Refuse to let discord take root. I will provide for your needs timely and lavishly. You will witness great miracles in your home. Your family is safe beneath my protective embrace. I love you deeply, and I am eternally proud of how you honor your family covenant. Walk in my unending grace. You will see the rewards of your dedication. Listen closely, my child. You have been a faithful prayer warrior for your lineage, and I will honor your covenant commitment with provision. You worry about securing their future. I tell you, secure my kingdom first. This mission is the very fire that carries my love and truth, transforming homes and families. I call you to drop your manna into the stream of this ministry, for those who invest in my word shall never lack sustenance. I saw you raising your children in the fear and instruction of the Lord. Now let your super thanks or donation be a living testimony of my faithfulness to your generations. I decree a hedge of protection and abundance over your finances for this act of honor. Go forth now, my steward, and anchor your financial future to my unwavering promise through the link below. My beloved, I look upon your righteous indignation, and I am profoundly proud of your courage to defend the weak. You boldly spoke up when you witnessed unfairness or oppression. You refused to let fear silence your voice. You did not allow the world to corrupt your heart's desire for righteousness. This passion for justice is a powerful reflection of my own heart. I will be with you, guarding and loving you forever. I will empower you to dismantle every force of darkness. I saw you lending your strength to carry the burdens of the marginalized. You did not walk by those in need. Your compassion and kindness are a living testament to my presence within you. You showed mercy and compassion to those who have been forgotten by society. This is the spirit of a true disciple. I will make you a beacon of love and acceptance. I am here to refresh your faith, strength, and hope. You will experience abundance. You refuse to be indifferent to the suffering in the world around you. I know the weight of the world's pain can be heavy. I will guide you to solutions and show you the answers you're looking for. You sought ways to restore dignity and hope to the brokenhearted. This is my true calling for you. I will work wonders through your hands. I will always be there to help and support you. You advocated for laws and systems that reflect my heart for righteousness. I am with you in this battle. My hand is upon you, and I will give you the vigor and cheer to stand firm. You are a wise and responsible person. I will provide you with my guidance. I will impart upon you the necessary wisdom. I command you to never retreat from this fight for justice. Refuse to let the enemy convince you to look away. I will be with you, guarding and loving you forever. I will empower you to conquer every trial and temptation. You will be able to get through anything calmly. I love you deeply, and I am eternally proud of your courage to stand against injustice. Go forth, my defender, and walk in my unwavering authority. I will bring you to a refreshing spring. My beloved, I want you to wipe away the shame you carry concerning your past. I am not interested in dwelling on your missteps. I am interested in the wisdom you gained from them. I am proud of you for refusing to be paralyzed by past mistakes, but rather rising with new wisdom. I saw the darkness try to corner you, whispering that you were defined only by your faults. But you refused to let failure define your identity in me. That is true resilience, my child, and I commend your unwavering spirit. You have seen how things that looked impossible became doable because you held on to your faith and my words and love. I watched you allow the consequences of your choices to teach you valuable lessons. I know the pain of those lessons was profound, but every difficulty is an opportunity for me to enrich and flourish you in every aspect of your life. You are a true warrior because you found the resilience that allows you to start over with renewed hope and direction. You turned what the enemy meant for evil into a powerful testimony of my redemption. I will turn all the bad into good. I am here to lift you up. Do not let the pain of failure keep you from seeing the victory that awaits. I am here to guide you. You are strong enough to overcome anything. You found the gift of grace waiting for you at the end of every stumble. I promise to bring you peace. You must stand up again. You will experience abundance and success in your endeavors. I will grant you what you ask from me. I am here to mend your deepest hurts. I will deliver it to you when the time is just right. I command you now to cast off the remaining chains of regret. Let the past be the past, because I have forgiven you. Do not dwell on what I have forgotten. I will never leave your side. I will always be right there with you. I am the God of miracles, and nothing is impossible for me. Your struggles and endeavors have groomed you for this moment. You will witness my power working in your favor. My love for you knows no bounds. Rise now, my resilient one, and embrace the new chapter I have prepared for you. You are not defeated. I will make you strong, wise, and brave. I will bless you so evidently that everyone will recognize that I am the Lord. I am here to support and shield you. You have within you not just skills and gifts, but also a great power that will lead you to light. I will never let go of your hand. Walk with the confidence that my power is mightier than any obstacle you face. I am eternally proud of how you learn from failure, making your errors a testimony of my grace. Keep faith and patience, my beloved, for often the most significant blessings are hidden behind the hardest challenges. My beloved, I see beyond the walls of your home, and I commend the breadth of your heart. You refuse to let your focus be only on yourself. I am immensely proud of the prayers you lift up for nations and peoples you have never seen. I feel the warmth of those prayers rising from your quiet room, reaching the farthest corners of the earth. This global mindset is a profound reflection of my heart for the whole world. I will bless and protect them. I will use your life as a living testament to my boundless power. You supported the work of spreading the gospel to the ends of the earth. You recognized that the Great Commission is a call to every believer. Your efforts are not small. They are a critical investment in my eternal kingdom. I will provide for your needs timely and lavishly. You understood that my power is revealed through your obedience. I will grant you the peace that surpasses all understanding. I will raise you up to build up others. I saw the compassion you feel for those who have yet to hear my saving name. You carry the burden of the lost on your heart every single day. This love is the fire I want to ignite in all my children. You are my ambassador, a bearer of the good news. I am accelerating the timing for you to receive your blessings. I will shower you with abundance. I will always be with you, my child. You are a beacon in the darkness. I am proud of the small sacrifices you make to fund the efforts of missionaries. That money, given in faith, is multiplied infinitely in my hands. Do not let time on trivial matters. You will experience abundance and success. I am here to support and shield you. My love for you is vast and deep. You will achieve your dreams. You will never be disappointed. I command you now to expand your vision even further. Refuse to let the limited view of the world restrict your purpose. I am raising you up to witness supernatural miracles. I will give you strength, help you out, and support you strongly. You will walk confidently with a smile reflecting peace. I am your protector and shield. I will never leave you alone. I am proud of your global mindset, for you are an instrument of my love. Go forth, my missionary, and witness the wonders I will perform through you. I will bless you so evidently that everyone will recognize that I am the Lord. My precious one, I want you to hold a deep reverence for the vessel I created for your spirit. I am proud of you for taking care of the physical temple where my spirit dwells. I saw you prioritizing rest and self-care as an act of good stewardship. I will visit your dreams and whisper sweet counsel. Rest is not a luxury. It is a command, a vital part of my plan to sustain you. You cannot pour out to others if your own vessel is dry. I will refresh your spirit and fill you with my peace. I saw you guarding your eyes and ears from the defilement of the world's media. You chose purity in thought and deed. This discipline is a beautiful act of worship. I will always honor your commitment to righteousness. I will give you the wisdom to fight so that no emotion of defeat will ever dominate you again. You refuse to let fear or doubt stop you in your tracks. You use your hands to bless, heal, and work for my kingdom. I will make your hands strong. I know you maintain the discipline of healthy living that allows you to serve me longer. You understood that time is a gift, and your longevity is an opportunity for greater service. I am your healer. My word is alive. I will lift you up. I will give you strength, help you out, and support you strongly. I will not let you suffer trials beyond what you can bear. Your body is a vessel for displaying my holiness. I am here to refresh your faith and hope. My love for you is vast and everlasting. I command you now to cherish your body, for it is my dwelling place. Refuse to let stress or worry deplete your vigor. I am here to give you strength and chase away all your fears. I will always be there to help you. My love and protection will always envelop you. Your efforts will be rewarded. You will experience abundance and success. I will lead you down a path filled with blessings and wisdom. You are my beloved, victorious through Christ Jesus. I am eternally proud of how you glorify me in your body, for you are my cherished treasure. My beloved child, we have reached the high mountain of our conversation. This moment is profoundly sacred. I am proud of you for making the choice, this very moment, to to submit your future plans to me. Pause now. Breathe in my presence. Do you feel the lightness of that surrender? It is the ultimate act of faith, a complete declaration of trust in my boundless love and my perfect will. Your future is safe and in my hands. I cherish the continuous, daily surrender of your will to my perfect plan. This is not a one-time event. It is a lifetime of devotion, an unwavering loyalty. I am actively weaving miracles into your existence. Your resilience amazes me. I will never leave you. My promises are sure. You demonstrate the humility to remain a student, always learning and growing in grace. Your faith will grow strong. I will always be there to help you. You are a living testament to my boundless provision. You will witness the unfolding of my abundant and glorious blessings in your life. Your best days are still ahead, secured in my loving promise. I am the architect of your destiny. Trust me, and you will see my power working wonders in your life. I am eternally proud of your unwavering commitment to love me with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. This love is the anchor for your soul. It is the greatest of all commandments, and you live it every day. I will provide for you. I will fill your home with abundance. I will accelerate the timing for you. You will be blessed and prosperous. Finally, my precious one, I am eternally proud of the one I have created and redeemed. You are my beloved child, a magnificent example of beauty and value in my eyes. I love you deeply, beyond what you can grasp. I will be your unwavering guide and companion. Walk with assurance, my child, for my love for you is eternal, steadfast and unchanging. Keep moving forward with boldness and resolve, for immense and marvelous blessings are poised along your journey. Go now and live in the certainty of my overwhelming love. My beloved, the final act of surrender is always met with the greatest reward. You have heard my voice, and now your spirit is illuminated. If your heart burns with the desire to share this transformative light with the countless souls still lost in the darkness, my invitation is urgent. I declare to you now, as I spoke through Malachi, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing there will not be room enough to store it. Your contribution is the oil for the lamp that carries my message to the world. Support this mission fiercely now through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link, and believe the promise of multiplication. Act in faith, my precious one, and watch my provision overwhelm you. My precious child, this journey with me does not end here, in the quiet solitude of your listening. Now is the moment for your declaration, the powerful testimony that seals every promise spoken over you today. Rise now and activate your blessing. I command you, go forth and testify to the world what your Father is proud of. Let your word be the seed of your next great harvest. Declare it now in the comments below. Finish this sentence for me and for all to see. I know God is proud of me because I finally chose to do this, my beloved. And watch as your simple declaration becomes the cornerstone of your magnificent, supernatural future. I love you, and your victory is assured. Amen.